What's going on, everyone? Let's see. Who do we have in here right now? Mark Rose, Lucky Butter, Mad Lodge 44. How y'all doing today? Um, the Texans are headed to the Super Bowl. Not quite, not quite, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We beat the wild card weekend, so that's a plus, right? Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh man, yeah, no, it's a good time to be alive right now. Texans are on their way. If y'all watch football. The Cowboys are not on their way. They didn't do so well. Uh, there's always next year. There's always next year. Sorry, I'm on like open the camera. I'm trying to open up my Pepsi Cola here. Unofficial sponsor of the Sundays with the Sonny Channel. Just because they cut me a check every now and then. Oh, Lucky Butter says the Cowboys got those booties clapped. Mm. You know, I would like to see an all Texas Super Bowl. I thought maybe this year it could happen. Might have to wait till next year. Um, yeah, it was a disappointing game. Especially when the Texans put up 45 points and then the Cowboys had 48 points to put up against them. I was like, what, what's going on, y'all? Could have did it. Can't do it now. Gotta wait till next season. Next season, I think the Texans will be even stronger. So that's what's up. Joey B, what's going on, man? Says, hey, it's the prosecutor from Idiocracy. That's right. Nope. This one over here. That's right. That's how we do over here. Make sure we throw that out there so I can get them royalty checks. That's what's up. Uh, Actually, when was the last time I got a royalty check from Idiocracy? It's probably about 2 months ago for like $9. So it's like a Ross exclusive action figure cost right there. Lucky Butter says Jerry J has to be pissed, especially with the Texans doing it. Man, yeah, because I mean the Texans are supposed to be like the little brother of the Cowboys or whatever they want to say it, but they showed up yesterday. They did what they had to do. What's going on, Rick Jones? But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Um, I thought the game was going to be. I thought both games were going to be closer than they were, but they weren't, and I'm okay with that because we advanced. So it is what it is. Savage saying, what's going on, man? He says, what's up, Girthwell? Oh, Girthwell, I'm reading the thing. Man, see, that's weird. Last week I got all the little custom emojis on there. This week I'm getting what I titled them. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. Hey, our weekend here in Texas was great. Now we're dropping below. We're at 17 degrees right now, and it feels like I think 4 degrees right now outside. So it's kind of cold here in Texas. I don't have my beanie on because I'm cold in my house. Um, I have central air and heat, but I like to keep my earbud in, so gotta have my beanie on. But we're staying warm. That's the important part. Let's see. Lucky Bush says, but that Rams game was good. I didn't see the Rams game. I didn't see the Detroit. I saw well, me and my wife were watching Twisted Metal. So I like that show. I haven't finished it. We started it and then we took a long break and then we went to rewatch it. So we've been watching that. Joey B says it was negative 34 yesterday, man. Yeah, I told my I saw that on Facebook and I told my wife, I was like, dang, it is negative 34 degrees up in the Dakotas. I was like, yeah, nah, man. I don't know if I can do negative 34. That seems a bit much. Rick Jones says 62 today in San Jose, like spring. We had 70, well, 71-degree weather Friday. And then yesterday was like 64. And today it's 17. Joey B says, we're finally warming up here. It's -8. Dang, -8. Matt Lodge 44 says, I went through DFW a few hours ago. It was at 12. Now I'm in Kansas and it's 0. Yeah, man, it would have been crazy playing in Kansas City last night. They had what was the wind chill factor, like -24 or something like that. Tickets dropped down to like $35, I think, is what the cheapest that I saw for Kansas City tickets. Right before the game started, tickets were like $35 for a playoff game, which is crazy. And they're playing Miami. Supposedly a good team. I didn't watch the whole game. It got kind of boring, so I turned it off. But Kansas City came through. They did their thing. Well, they didn't come through. They played at home. They stayed through. Kansas City stayed through. Did the thing. Joey B says your boy's still been wearing shorts in this deadly cold, according to the news. I prefer to wear shorts. I think I would. So I'll rock shorts if I'm gonna be outside. Yeah, if I'm gonna be outside somewhere, I'll rock shorts till about 40 degrees. After 40 degrees, like below 40 degrees, if I'm gonna be outside, I'll wear pants. But like I'll wear shorts. So like if I gotta go take the trash out and it's like 17-degree weather, if I don't have shirt or pants, I just have shorts on, I'll just go take it out real quick. When we had our ice storm a few years ago, branches and stuff were falling in our front yard, and I ran up out there with just pajama pants, like no shirt. I had a beanie on, but just pajama pants and a beanie, like no shirt, and everybody was looking like, "You want to go put some clothes on first, Sonny?" I'm like, "No, I gotta assess my damages right now, and trying to keep my chanclas on my feet." So I'm okay with the cold, briefly, but yeah, after 40, if I'm gonna be outside, I'll probably stop rocking shorts. But Joey B, are you wearing like big shorts, like Jinko shorts that go like all the way to your ankle? Or are you wearing like Levi's 501 shorts where they don't go past your knee? Tu madre es tan gorda, dice Rick Jones is in SJ, California. Lucky Butter says 25 below is when I toss on pants until we talking the wind chill crazy. But I live in Florida, so I never had to worry about that kind of lower temps. Yeah, no. Like this is weird. Like we don't normally get temperatures this low. When we do, it just hits that little spell real quick, and then it moves on. Joey B says you're wearing basketball shorts. Oh, okay, all right. Just one. I don't know. Joey B's like, I wear corduroy shorts. I don't even know if they make corduroy pants or shorts for grown men anymore. I don't know. Or grown humans. I don't know how to categorize clothes anymore. Um, but yeah, no, I don't wear basketball shorts. I'm never gonna play basketball, so I don't really wear basketball shorts. Weasel, what's going on, man? Says Sonny. Someone mentioned Florida. Yeah, apparently y'all have great weather down there. And the your old territory, DFW, is at 12. Rick Jones says, I doubt California Bay Area will get this cold this year. Warm winter here. Someone was telling me the Farmer's Almanac, which is an old people book, said that we're supposed to have a real bad cold freeze this year. So we don't have any, we're not supposed to really have any precipitation in the forecast. So we should be good. Like, shouldn't be too much issues. They are afraid that our grid might bust up because everybody's going to blow their heater on real fast. But I don't know. So far, it seems okay. Hey, y'all know what's cool? I got this little Ulanzi light for Christmas. I meant to show it last week and I totally did not. But I like it. It comes with a lot of accessories and stuff. It's a little cube light. See? Like that. Like it comes with this thing to check your ears and your throat and your nose. Like you ever go to the doctor and they're checking everything and it goes to your nose and they're like open. And I'm like, ugh. That was just right there on my. Let's see. Joey B says it's warm winter here too until the past 3 days. I mean, it was 60 2 days before Christmas. I wore shorts because it was warm. It was like hot. Like, but it's nice and fresh in Florida. We don't understand the word cold living. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice Farmer's Almanac. That's right. Olu says, you have any figs you're looking forward to getting this year? Yeah, there are. Unfortunately, I was looking forward to that Leon figure. It was terrible. But this year, or for last year, I'm sorry, for 2023, I was looking forward to the Leon figure. It was garbage. Because it's so small. It was tiny. But this year, that amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom, that one looks dope. What else? There's something else. Oh, the biblical adventures. Those look cool. Can't wait to see what those look like. And the Odious figure that looks cool. Let's see what else is there. The that rabbit from DC. What is it? McFarlane. I don't know what's going on with that rabbit, but that one. Um, what else? What else is there? There was another one. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, that's gonna be a cool figure. Oh, the Jesse Rebel Tech is gonna re-release. Is it Rebel Tech? Revol Tech? Revol Tech? I don't know. Whatever that brand is, they're gonna make Jesse from Toy Story. So that's gonna be cool. I think it's a re-release though. I think it's like a 1.5 version or something like that. But who else? Who else is there? There was the new Wolverines and Marvel Legends is coming out. I like Wolverine. I know some people are like, oh, another Wolverine, and other people are like, oh, another Wolverine. But yeah, those all look cool. I don't know about that Psylocke that they got with it. It's kind of weird. Weasel says DFW is cold and bitter tonight after that Cowboys choke job. Man, that's what I was saying. I was like, if Dak chokes, this it's it. It's done for. Joy B says, you hear those Marvel Legends leaks? I heard about them. I didn't click the link though to go see what they were. I was like, I'll see them when they come out. Oh, another thing that look forward to this year is the Zesray Studios Minotaur. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't remember the name. It's like twin brother Minotaurs or whatever. Those things look cool. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice, I live in a Mexican household. We don't turn on the heater. We get more blankets. That's what's up. That probably saves on electricity too, or gas, whichever you have. Lucky Butter says, have you been working on your new material for stand-up, or have you already tested it out this year? So I have been working on new material. I have a ton of material. Like my old style, I don't know. If I had to measure it, I probably have that much material. My new style, I have a ton more, but it's because writing one-liners to where the punchline has to hit, I'm going to say it takes a little bit more skill than just speaking about things. Because like my old style, because I was on monotone, I would say pale face. That's not the right word. I mean, I'm light skinned, so I'm technically pale faced. Straight face, deadpan. Like I like that style. I like those jokes because those you have to hit with those jokes. Like nothing that I can't say. Like being deadpan. Yes, that does lend to part of the punchline, but like there's other comedians that they might say something that's not as funny, but they do a funny face or do a funny action with it, and that can get the laughs. So it's a little bit easier to write with that. Um, so I do miss that part. So I probably will still occasionally throw one-liners into my new set, but I will still stay more loose with it, stay more crowd friendly, and try to appeal to a bigger audience, basically. Someone actually said on when did I go? Last Tuesday, I went to an open mic at Cap City Comedy Festival or Cap City Comedy Club here in Austin, and it was a dude I'd done a bunch of shows with before. And I told him I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll go for this year. I'm doing something new, doing a new style, doing new demeanor, new everything." And he was like, "Oh, cool! I can't wait to see it." Then when I got him on stage and I did it, I got off stage and he was like, "Man, that's completely different. Like it's a whole new person at that point." And he was like, "Before you were a comedian's comedian, you're like a comedian's comic, meaning that comedians could see what you were doing, they appreciated it, and they thought you were funny, but that's like who your whole audience was." And he goes, "This way, I do think that you're gonna get a bigger crowd." And I was like, "Thank you. That's what I'm trying to go for." So it was cool to see someone who'd been working with me for years be able to be like, you know what? Yeah, you're on the path that you're trying to go for. So I am working on new material. I try to hit open mics when I can. I don't know if y'all saw my video on my new channel, but basically, I don't have to do open mics because people are like, "Hey, you want to be on the show?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." But I feel like I'm starting brand new, so I should still do open mics just to kind of refine my craft and everything like that. Because if people are just paying to see me, sometimes people would be like, people are paying to see me. I can do whatever I want. But like in an open mic, they're not really paying to see you. They're paying to see terrible comics and maybe get a laugh in there as well. So it's a bit of a more, I guess, more harsh crowd because they're not expecting a whole lot. So I am hitting open mics to try out new material and stuff like that. My next show is on the 27th, and I got to do 15 minutes. So I got to try to hit open mic and try out more material. I'm gonna try to start recording them all, and we'll see when I post. I know the channel members will get the videos regardless of how it goes. Sometimes it sucks because the last video that I recorded from Cap City, which I know a few of the members have seen, um, I still tell the joke and then I let the audience laugh and then I move on. But in the video, you can't hear very much laughter. So it just looks like I told a joke and nobody thought it was funny. And then I made this long extended no speaking time and then I went on. But it was actually that crowd was laughing. I still did that. So I may have to stop doing that because I don't know why. My camera didn't my phone didn't pick up the sound. So I was like, it's kind of awkward. But um I may end up like cutting laughter off just to keep going with it. But I do like it. It's fun. So hopefully I'll get some good video this next time around and we'll have it something I can post up for everyone. Rick Jones says Savage Crucible is finally coming out. Those will be good. Those look cool. I didn't get into that. Joey B says Sonny loves those $40 trash McFarlane figures. Dude, I get it. Like he was like, oh, these are special edition. This is what is it called? Not platinum. Is it platinum edition? Platinum edition? But yeah, that's a big jump for him to last year. Was it last year? It was like, oh, I control everything. I don't need to raise prices. And then he did. Crazy. Tu madre está engorda, dice Mezco Tortugas. Hey, happy 112 day, everyone. I missed it by like 2 days. The Mezco Turtles, those do look cool. Rick Jones says rectangular leaks are always true. Yeah, he does mention that. I've seen that before. So maybe he works for Hasbro and we don't know that. Tu madre está engorda dice rectangular announces all the leaks but hates all the figures when they are released. That's what he does. Oh, look, here we go. Matt Logic 44 says, I watched your open mic from last week. I liked it, but yeah, different vibe. That's what I'm going for. And because also, I feel like when people will go to my old stand up and they're like, because I used to do skits too with a friend of mine, would do little improv skits, but it was such a different feel from my on stage persona. And I feel like people thought that my on stage persona was who I was. And so being a little looser, being actually myself, just being on stage saying stuff that people will find funny, not necessarily. I'll still have the jokes thrown in, but a lot of it at this point too is just like saying things that are funny and having people laugh at that, but also twisting it to have a little punch or have a little punchline on the end of it. But I feel like that'll allow me to be able to create other content without having to try to stick to one particular style or persona, you know? Because like I want to act goofy too, but I can't act goofy if I'm supposed to be deadpan about everything, you know? So we'll see how it works out. But I like it. I think it's fun because people can approach me now and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Because like I did say, I had a joke, a show. Oh man, I want to say in December. Yeah, right before Christmas. And it was the first time I tried that style. And I said a joke about being an idiocracy. And people actually came up to me afterwards and like, hey, you were an idiocracy? Can I get a photo with you? And it's a lot different because generally people would just be like, as they'd walk past me. And I was like, I guess that's their approval. Cool. But it does make it, like I said, so people feel more open to just come and chit chat with me afterwards, which is cool. It's always good to connect with the fans, even if they're not a fan. It's good to connect with the audience. Say it that way. Lucky Butter says we might see a 2025 Netflix Sunny special. I'll do it for the minimum. I don't even care. I know some comedians are like, oh, they're more than I think it's 900,000 is the minimum for a Netflix special. I'm like, oh, I deserve more than that. Look how many tickets I sold. I guess, like, I mean, from what I understand, you approach Netflix, and Netflix can approach you, but it's up to you to carry the weight of doing the actual show. I don't think Netflix actually rents out the venue. I think that's something you got to do. Rick Jones says Crisis Superman is the worst face sculpt of a Superman figure ever. I don't know, man. A lot of the McFarlane Superman faces are terrible looking. So yeah, I don't know. I think the only good one that I liked was Gladiator Superman and the COVID-19 Superman. What is it? Superman the Infected, I think. Those two head sculpts were nice. I don't really like none of the other Superman head sculpts though. Rick Jones says I couldn't do stand up even with a solid set. I might get the flop sweats. Oh man, I was at I could talk about it because none of them people are watching, and even if they were, I don't care. No, so I did an open mic at Cap City, and it was so bizarre. Like people were going up, they were doing jokes, but like they weren't jokes. I don't know what they were going for. I don't know if they're going for shock value or what. But I mean, one dude went up and he was like, the other day I smoked weed and I think I'm gay. And nobody laughed. Then he doubled down and was like, then I did shrooms and turns out I am gay. And nobody laughed again. Then he goes on and says whatever, some other stuff. And then he's all like, the other day, me and my girlfriend were blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, you're not even sticking with your same storyline. You just said you were gay. Dude, the comedian I knew that I was talking to about my set, I was like, hey, is he really gay? Because that dude's gay. And he goes, oh, he's questioning it. And I was like, what? Okay, all right. I guess there's truth to his jokes. But it was really weird. There was like 4 people that described them being in some situation, and they're like, I guess I'm gay now. Like, what? Very weird comedy. Like, I didn't get it. But yeah, it was pretty awkward. Yeah. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice, that's why he does Batman. He has just called half a face. That's a good point. Yeah, no, but like I don't know, man. It was very, very weird. And again, it's weird because this one dude, like I did a joke, and this one dude I get off stage, and actually I got off stage, these older people were like high-fiving me. And one person, I don't know if they were trying to pinky swear with me or whatever, but they were like, ha. And they did this towards me, and I just fist bumped it instead. I'm like, I'm not gonna pinky swear with you, or I don't know what's going on. Uh, but then a comedian was all like, hey man, I really like that joke, blah, 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 blah. I was like, hey, thanks, man, I appreciate that. And then he went up and he was one of those people that did the my car got a flat the other day, and am I gay? And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna tell him he did a good job. Like I'm not feeling it. It was weird though because like they would come back and people would be like, hey, good job, hey, way to go, nice try. I just kept applauding, so I didn't have to give him dap or anything. I was just like, oh. But yeah, it was very bizarre. Lucky Butter says those must be goggle jokes. Google jokes or goggle jokes? I'm gonna make some goggle jokes. Joey B says gay jokes are funny, Sonny. Get with the early 2000s, man. I talked to a friend of mine. I said, man, I go because Joe Rogan's here now, and they had the Comedy Mothership, and they take away everyone's cell phones, and they're like, it's open, so you can say whatever you want on stage. And I'm like, did that open the floodgates for these gay jokes that aren't funny again? Because I thought we were done with that, but who knows? There was another guy. I'll say it like I said, man. They ain't following me, and even if they did, I really don't care. But there was another dude that said, what did he say? Oh, he gets on stage and he goes, "Hey, uh, where all my people with STDs at? Right? You know what I'm saying?" And everybody's like, "No, no, sir. I don't know what you're saying. No, I can't relate." And he was like trying to be like gangster thug swagger up there, and it didn't work out. And he was talking about getting the shot. He was like, "Yes, sir, you can give me a shot." So I'm like working on my arm, like just put it right there in my arm. Just get right there in my arm, dog. Right there in my arm. My arm's all ready, dog. I ain't scared of no needles. Right there in my arm, dog, in my arm. And I'm like, I know where he's going with this. He's trying to do misdirection, but he's pointing you right to where he wants his punchline to be. He's talking about the arm, bringing up the arm, mentioning the arm is ready. And then he's like, then they try to give me the shot in my butt cheek. And you're like, yep, knew it was going there. Dude did about a minute and a half, and then it was like, all right, y'all, that's my time. And he walked off, and everybody's like, nah, you still had 2.5 more minutes. But yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Joey B says, go up there and tell an actual funny gay joke. Show them how it's done. LOL. I told a trans joke, and I think other people thought that opened up for trans jokes or trans material. I'll say trans material because it wasn't a joke. I had a joke where I mentioned trans, and I got laughs a little bit, and but then other people went up and they said trans jokes, and I was like, no, that didn't work. Like doing Caitlyn Jenner, like man, it's old already. She's old. He's old. Whoever's old. I saw a meme that was like Caitlyn Jenner tired going back to Bruce Jenner because Caitlyn Jenner just like his man. So I don't know what's going on. Lucky Butter says, I look deep into the shining sun. I think I'm gay now. Don't be looking at the sun no more. No, yeah, basically. Lucky Butter says, I'll probably be laughing at how bad it was. That's the thing. I was telling people about this. They were laughing. But nobody in the venue was laughing because it's like, at that point, you're trying to think, like, someone wrote this down and said, I'm going to say that to a bunch of strangers. It was very bizarre. Joy B says, joke so bad, even the crickets were quiet. Dude, it was uncomfortable. Like, there was one person, and I thought she had perfect setup for what could have been a plethora of jokes in that 4 minutes. They only gave me 4 minutes to do jokes. But she was talking about how she was like a stripper by day, comedian by night. And I was like, oh man, I would love to see where she's going to contrast this and bring some humor to it. She didn't do it. The only thing she did was she goes, I'm a stripper by day. My day job is a stripper. And at night, I come to this stage. I want to give it up, but the other stage pays more. And I was like, that's pretty good. And then she just went off the deep end. And I was like, oh man, almost. Tu madre está tan gorda, dice. People will forgive it if it's funny. Correct. Problem is, 99% of trans gay jokes are just offensive. And that's the thing. Like, I'll say the words, but there's not a joke about those people. Like, it's still going to come back on me somehow. And sometimes, like, I'll go, let me see. Sometimes I'll do a play on words, and that'll work out too. But yeah, some of them is just like, I don't know where you're going with that right there. And like, I want to tell these new comics, like, hey, man, that joke doesn't work. But they'll be like, oh, my mom thought that joke was funny. I'm like, okay, you're going to start performing for your mom then at her Tupperware parties. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know if they have Tupperware parties anymore. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Olu says, you ever seen Bill Burr roast an entire Philadelphia audience? That was hilarious. I actually just saw that. What was I watching? Yeah, like he completely turned on them, which was hilarious because they didn't like the other comedians or something like that. I think that's the right one I'm thinking of. Mario Z says, I just got on here. This is the first thing I hear. Yeah, I was just expressing my feelings about comedians who aren't quite up to par. And before we get on with that, I do have a special guest tonight. I don't know if he can hear me. Uh oh, he can. Okay. I don't know if he's ready to come on. Oh, he is. Okay. I don't know if he just shakes his head. Yes. No, okay, he doesn't know. All right, so let's bring this guest on.
Hey, hi.
Hey, what's going on?
What's
So
cracking?
this is Wade, everyone of Unparalleled Universe. Say
Hello.
hi. Okay. All 12 of my viewers know exactly who you are because I stole your viewers.
Oh,
Basically
shit.
how that works.
Okay.
Yeah. No, what's up, man? I'm glad you could come on. I didn't tell them you were coming on. It's a surprise.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. I
Yeah.
see a bunch of familiar names in the chat too, so that's dope. And I'm sorry I couldn't get on earlier or for longer, but yeah, your timing is crazy.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. Like I always tell people, I'm like, hey, you want to do my show? They're like, yeah. I'm like, when? They're like, I'm like Sunday nights. They're like, I'm free Sunday nights. I'm like 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. They're like, yeah, I go to bed. And I was like, oh, okay, you're a real adult. You're a real adult. Okay, that's cool.
Hey,
No, but
so I overheard you talking. You were bashing on some comedians.
I'm bashing all comedians.
Who
Yeah,
you
no, because I
bashing on?
started doing stand up again,
Oh,
but this style. Remember the first time you had me on? First time you had me on. You had me on. Uh,
was it only that one time? No.
Yeah, it was only one time.
Oh
Remember,
shit, my bad.
you even said you were like I was so nervous because I didn't know how it was gonna be. Because remember I was doing like the deadpan slow style
Yeah, yeah.
uh before, and so I was like I'm switching that, going back to just being my regular self. That way, when I do have to pull a gun on somebody in the club, they're not all shocked like oh my god.
But yeah,
They're like
yeah.
no, totally expected that. Totally expected that from this guy.
No, but your deadpan thing, I think like when you were doing that at the beginning, it separated you from like everybody else, like all the toy review
Yeah,
guys, like when you do your reviews. But I could understand how it's kind of like it has a limited lifespan, right? Like you have to kind of like because you could tell it wasn't you, but it was like an act kind of, or but not in a
yeah.
bad way. You could tell it was a bit, I guess you could say.
Well,
But
it's funny because some people didn't know that. And so like because of my jokes, they try to come punk me after the show.
oh shit.
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, hold up. I was like, nah, you're not getting that person. I was like, you getting this like so it is what it is. Like, let's raise my street cred real quick, dog. And they're
What?
like, whoa, hold on.
Why were they trying to punk you though? Just because they thought they could?
Yeah, because my jokes, like some people take the jokes the wrong way. Like I'll say a joke and they don't understand it, but they're like,
Okay.
oh, that was mean. Oh, you're attacking this group of people. I actually had someone say that I tell too many white people jokes. And
Fuck those crackers. That's what I
I'm
say.
like, stepped on a pack of Ritz. Oh, you see what I think about that? No, but yeah. So like, I go, are you serious? I was like, because most of my jokes are about a Hispanic dude right here in front of you, and I'm like, but they heard Caucasian, and they're like, you told too many white people jokes, and I'm like, oh man,
Nah, weak.
yeah. I was like, all y'all gonna do is lower my credit score if I punch y'all, so I'm not down with that.
But that's cool. You're gonna get back into doing some stand up.
Yeah, and just to try to find a broader audience, basically.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
by
were kind
broader,
of
I mean more broad.
more bitches. There you go. Hey,
Yeah,
you were kind of. It sucked because like right before the pandemic hit, I remember you telling me. I think when you were on the live, or maybe I saw you say it. But you were, you were going out doing stand up and stuff like that, and then the pandemic hit, and then it was kind of it shut that down, and then you were kind of looking for
yeah.
an alternate way.
You know what's crazy because the last show that I did was for HBO Comedy Festival, and it featured Ralph Barbosa,
Oh, nice.
who
He's dope.
is like on Netflix. He's on everything right now.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, he kept on with comedy, moved to like New York, whatever, California, and did comedy. And I started a YouTube channel about action figures.
Hey,
So,
it's all gambles.
but
Yeah, you never
that's
know
what I tell
which
everybody.
gamble's gonna work.
Well, that's what I tell, but I'm like, I go, you don't understand. I go, I did stand up comedy for all these years. I started doing action figures and started going on, doing my YouTube and stuff. I go, that took off faster. And people were
Oh,
like, oh, they're like, so why don't you do comedy anymore? I go, because I can do this from my house. So
yeah.
now that I'm going back out to do comedy, then we'll see what happens. But
That's cool. I've got a lot of respect for like stand-up comics and like the whole culture behind it and all that. It's like it's interesting. It reminds me of like underground hip hop and stuff. But Yeah, it's dope. I hope to see some more of your clips because I know that you don't have all that many clips up on YouTube. You had a couple of dope ones, but hopefully you get some more up pretty soon.
So I hid most of them. So
Oh,
like on YouTube, I took a bunch of them down. Um, because that was the thing too, is like doing one-liners, it was harder to write those. And so like
mm,
if you ever go look up Stephen Wright or Mitch Hedberg,
mhm.
you're not gonna find like hours and hours and hours of material. You're gonna find a bunch of repeated jokes.
Oh, okay,
And that's
okay.
where I felt I was at too. And so I was like, well, at least this way I can make jokes about anything at this point. And it just depends on the crowd, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh
you're saying when you're
and
doing the deadpan style, you're kind of limited to these like one joke type of setups, or
yeah, because like I can't be like, oh, the other day I was at the grocery store and this dude dropped all his groceries like, whoa, and people like laugh at that for whatever reason, right? But
yeah,
if I'm doing deadpan, I'm like, oh, the other day I was at the grocery store and this guy dropped all his groceries.
yeah. Then it's
Like it doesn't work because it's like I can't be animated with it. So I feel like just being myself and being able to do that just expands what I can talk about.
right. That's cool. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're gonna do good, man.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be like, hey, you want to come out to California? I'm like, yeah, I could stay with Wade in his
Oh, I'll
spider
be like,
shack.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, Sonny. I'd be like, oh, the toy review guy? Nah, I don't know any comedians. Toy review
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that guy, I think he was in the movie. Uh yeah, no, but let's see, man, the comments blew up when you showed up.
Oh, nice. I know it's a bunch of fucking nerds. Look at Home Dude, Lucky Butter, Rick Jones, bunch of dorks.
Let's see. Oh man. Uh Oh, let's see. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice. I still think stillborn randomly and laugh to myself. I do love that joke. That's my mom's favorite joke. I was like, that's messed up, mom. The one about me supposed to be a dead baby.
It's wishful thinking and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. My prayers were almost answered. No, but I do have a joke now. It's a real life joke though, because I was switched at birth.
Oh
And
shit.
it's kind of messed up because like back in the 80s, they were like, yeah, this baby kind of matches because I'm light skinned. So they gave me to a white woman and
Oh,
they gave my mom a little dark baby. And my
a
mom was like,
black
no, no, no,
baby?
no, no. I had a boy. She gave her a little dark little white girl, like a little mixed breed white girl. They
Oh,
gave
oh,
that to my mom. And she was like, no, 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 I had a boy. Like I remember he came out as a dude. And so they just swapped them back.
oh,
And when my mom first told me that, I was like, dang, mom. I go, so I could have grown up white?
oh, that'd have
Like
been nice.
you you raised me in this ghetto neighborhood? I could have went to Disney World.
Oh shit.
And so I had a little disdain for my mom for a bit. I was like,
Wait,
you took that from me.
when you were switched, was it just real quick?
So back in the days, they had two ladies in the same room,
Oh, oh, okay.
and it was a white lady and my mom. And me and some little dark little white girl were born at the same time. And they were like, ah, this one goes over here. That one goes over there. Like, I'm like, y'all couldn't check our little wrist tags? Like,
But
y'all wrote that.
when they do that, is it just like they figure it out the day of, or like did you go home with this family and then?
No, like, my mom was immediately like, hey, no, no, this ain't mine. I had a boy.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're like, oh, my bad. And then the white lady was like, I had a girl. And they're like, switch. And they just like swapped them. So I'm like,
Hey,
I might not even have been to that room. I could have been to a different room.
oh
Like,
damn.
so
Hey,
yeah,
I
it's
know
kind of,
somebody. I know somebody, or I met somebody. I used to work with someone. They were Native American, right? And they like lived on a reservation and all this kind of stuff. And they were showing us pictures of her family. And then she goes, "Yeah, my grandma's name was Turnborn. You know how they have like interesting names like that."
oh, yeah, yeah.
She's like, my grandma's name was Turnborn. That's what they called her. It's because when she was born, she was a boy, and then she became a girl. And I was like, nah, I think your grandma got switched with somebody else. Like, like something's wrong right there.
It's a miracle. We're supposed to kill all the women. Now we get to keep it. It's like,
Yeah, fucking Turnborn. I was like, it should have called Switchborn or some shit. Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh, they should have called her Switchblade. That sounds way
oh
cooler.
shit,
They'd
Switchblade.
be like, man.
If she was Mexican, they would have called her that, but she was Native
That's true.
American.
Okay. Switches the river. Rick Jones says baby switches do happen. That's hilarious.
Oh man, it's not that hilarious, but
Oh man, do 23andMe. Hey, what's going on? Nobody's related to me. Oh man. Let's see.
People
Mr.
said that's
Jones says,
hilarious.
yeah, swaps happened a lot back then. I was born in '79. That happened to me too. See, Mr. Jones got swapped too.
So, but it's weird when you say we like Mr. Jones says I got swapped. How long were you swapped for? Was it just for the day?
That's true. It was just like a one-time adventure.
Yeah, or like, did you like were you like 5 years old and you're the person raising you like, wait a minute, I don't have a black kid, and then like took you back with some paperwork or something, and like that I don't know.
Like, is this fool left-handed? We're all right-handed in this
Yeah.
family. This can't be ours.
Damn. No, that's crazy. But yeah, I guess back in the days the rules were a little loose. I will say when my daughter was born, there was about 50 people in the room and uh they were like invested in the storyline for some reason. Like it wasn't an interesting, it was a normal birth, but there was a shitload of people in there and they were like all watching. I was like, how many people does it take? Like what are you guys doing? And a lot of them were just like, we just want to be here. And it's like fucking okay.
Man, when my little one was born, I was like, I'm not taking eyes off that fool. I was swapped. I was like, make sure. I did feel bad though, because like they're like, oh, hey, dad, you want to go over there? I'm like, first of all, don't call me dad. That's weird. I'm not your parent. Like the nurses, like that's always weird to me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I go into the an elevator with another dude, and he's all like rocking back and forth. I'm like, oh man, you need help? Like I don't know what's going on, but he was just rocking back and forth. He goes, did you just have a baby? And I said, yeah. I mean, we're in the baby wing. Like I don't understand. Like why else would I be here? But I was like, yeah, I did. And he goes, oh, boy or girl? I go, a boy. He goes, oh, I had a little girl. I go, okay. And I go, yeah, he weighed 8.5 pounds. He goes, oh, nice. My baby weighed 2.1 pounds. I was like, oh, I should have asked first. Like I should have. Like, well, yeah, I basically told him I had a healthy baby. What about you? Like,
yeah, mine was 4 months premature. Oh, shit.
Yeah. My wife wasn't even pregnant yet. She just had the egg. Like
one of my nephews was born like that. Like he was I think my sister was like 6 months pregnant and she was at Disneyland. That motherfucker just fell out and like yeah, and she had to stay at the Ronald McDonald home in LA for like you know, like he was in an incubator and she had to wait there until he was like developed enough to like travel or whatever. And you know, now he's 20 years old and he's an asshole. I always call him no, he's not an asshole. He's a good kid, but I always call him a fucking preemie. And yeah, it was crazy.
Did he like bungee out or like rappel out like down? Like,
I
can only imagine.
I don't know. Because when I was younger when it happened, I didn't ask her. That's an important detail. I'll ask my sister next time I see her, see if she remembers. Like, yeah, did he just swing out like Spider-Man or what happened?
Oh,
did he hit the
final swing, Spider-Man?
Yeah, final swing.
I'm all tripping out. My lights are blinking over here. Oh, we're having a freeze right now in Texas. So
yeah, I heard it's cold game out there.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'll make sure I don't lose electricity over here. This will go all dark because I got, Wi-Fi.
I'll be like, oh, I'm out. No.
Yeah. You're like calling the Texas grid, like, hey, can you go to shut down about 10 minutes from now? Rick Jones has a great idea. Always put a Sharpie mark on your newborn infant. This one's mine.
I think that's a good idea. That's a good plan. Rick Jones is always thinking.
Like mine has a little picture of a knife. Mad Logic 44 said it was on Splash Mountain. It had to be. Is that a Disney joke? As you know, I wasn't raised white, so I never went to Disney.
Right. White. That joke. The Disney jokes are whites only.
Yes. Oh man.
Splash Mountain. I don't know if it was on Splash Mountain. I forget where it was. Maybe she wasn't in the park. Maybe she was at the hotel. But it was pretty cool because there was some dude that helped her, and for years until my nephew was 18, that same dude that helped her would always give her like discounts at hotels and the park and stuff like that. And then when my nephew got like old enough to ask for himself, he's like, "Fuck that!" And I think he cut them off.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, it's cool to be like, have you ever been to Disney World? Like, funny story, I was born there. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I was born in a back alley. I almost got tossed in the trash.
Yeah, I was turn-born.
Yeah, Turnborn. It's like it's a great Indian name. Now, if I ever meet a Native American person, they're like, "Oh, I'm Turnborn." I'm like, "Oh, snap, me too."
Me too.
In my native tongue, "Yo también, way."
Or no, next time you meet a Native American, be like, "Do you know Turnborn?" You know, people do that shit. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, I'm pretty sure there's only one. Like, it's got to be only
yeah.
one. There was I worked with a Native American, and I think his name was Light Feather, which was weird because he also had that gastric bypass surgery because he was so large.
He's heavy
And I was
feather.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, heavy feather. It's that one thing. What weighs more, a ton of steel or a ton of feathers? Well, I
Yeah.
know Light Feather. He weighs a lot.
Light feather weighs more than a ton of fucking bricks or whatever.
Yeah, they don't call him Ton Feather for nothing. Oh, look, Lucky Butter says, I mean, my parents met working at Disney. There you go. So thanks to the mouse for putting them together. No Disney, no me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Nice.
there you go.
That's magical.
That is very magical. But then it makes you wonder, like, oh man, Lucky Butter, were you conceived at Disney?
Oh shit.
That'd be even more magical.
It'd be dope if he was conceived there and then he was born there. It'd be the holy trinity.
I'd be like, why hasn't Pixar made that movie yet?
Yeah, yeah. Fucking Pixar.
But yeah,
Pixar's falling off.
they are. Well, like, and because like we've been showing my little one a bunch of the Pixar movies. Some of them I'm watching like, why did I watch this back in the day? Like,
yeah, they have a couple of weak ones, and I feel like, you know, the last like really great one was Soul. Like that movie's amazing, but I feel like they'll never reach those heights again because like they keep coming out with sequels or they keep coming out with like you know, like Elemental. I haven't seen it. It looks good, but to me it sounds like Zootopia. So it's kind of like
so I did see Elemental just the other day.
How was it?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Like it was better than I thought it was.
Okay.
And like my kid, like we were reading the synopsis or whatever, and he was like, romance.
Oh,
that's weird. And he said that. And then there was a part in the movie, he goes, this must be the romance part. I'm like, God dang, you remember that? Like, all right, guess you calling it out like that. Yeah.
How old
but he's 7, so he'll be 8 next month.
I was gonna make an inappropriate joke if he was like 15, but
go ahead and go for it.
I was gonna say he's waiting for some fucking titties, some cartoon fucking but that's not the case. He's only 7.
I mean, Pixar's known for that, like the way they draw the women, right? So.
Oh yeah, Elastigirl, she's fucking My favorite part about Elastigirl is like, you know, she looks crazy in the show in the movie, but then like when you go to Disneyland, you wouldn't know because you're not white. But like for my white people out there, when you go to Disneyland and they have the girls who dressed up as Elastigirl like in the parades, like they get somebody that plays the part pretty accurately. It's always kind of like, I don't know if this is appropriate. Like you always kind of feel weird, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I see. No.
I saw a video where one of the Elastigirls, like it was on Instagram, where Elastigirl was like driving on a little like Segway thing. Yeah. And then she kicked her leg all the way up and then brought her leg down and then fucking dropped it like it was hot and shit like that. Like almost started twerking, but it was borderline where I was like, I never seen them do that, but I've seen them look like that. So I don't know.
That was probably here in Austin during Halloween.
Oh shit.
That's when all the slutty girls come out.
Yeah. That's
when all, to be fair, that's when all slutty dudes come out too.
Yeah, whores.
Yeah, it's called Horloween.
Yeah, Horloween.
No, but yeah, so we were showing them Pixar movies, and then Inside Out 2 was coming out, right? That's
yeah, Inside Out 2. I'm scared of that one.
I was like, how can you have Inside Out 2? That'd be Right Side Out. Like they should just call it Right Side Out.
Right side, yeah. Right side in? No, yes.
Right side in? Yeah.
Inside out, outside. I don't know, but I'm scared of that movie because I love the first one, and it's like you don't need a second one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because they're like, well, did you see that Red Panda one about the period?
No, was it good?
It's a period piece. That's what...
Oh, nice.
No, I didn't like it, man. I thought it was dumb. Like, I was
you didn't like it?
Stupid. No.
Stupid.
Because they're like, oh, your vagina's gonna bleed. You're gonna turn into a big panda.
Oh, is that what?
And it's not
about, or is it just like it could be? interpreted that way.
No, like that's what it's supposed to be about.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, because they're like, oh, whenever it's like instead of her having a quinceañera, she turns to a big giant red panda.
Okay.
And I'm like, but who sponsors the shoes? Like, I don't understand what's going on. But
I don't know, man. Like, I love that Pixar tackles like concepts, but like I just feel that's a I mean, it's a concept or whatever, but I feel like it's below what when Pixar tackles a concept, like I feel that concept is below what they typically uh fucking tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like Inside Out
yeah.
is like psychological and feelings and this and that, and then like Soul is like dying and what's the meaning of life and this and that, and then it's like period. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I think if Inside Out is like the little girl's like going crazy, I might watch it. Like the part two, I might
oh
watch
yeah.
that. If
I
they're like,
would,
oh, she watched her parents get hit by a car,
oh shit.
deal with that joy.
Oh
Like
that I
I'd
don't
watch that one.
that makes me
Because
sad. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that.
Disney loves killing off parents, so like kill off the parents and
They
then
do. They do. They do.
see what the feelings people have to deal with that. But you know what? I did read that like two of the actors didn't come back for the voices, so that's
Oh,
always
I
that's
wonder which
always
ones.
scary.
I wonder which ones.
Uh, who played the anxiety dude?
Bill Hader
I
did.
can't. Yeah, Bill Hader. He didn't come back.
Oh,
And then I can't remember which
probably
other one.
the Indian girl from The Office.
Oh, Kelly Malinga.
I don't think it's Kelly Kaminga. I think it's Mila. I forget her name. I'm a fan of hers too. I like her in The Office. She was
Really?
hilarious.
I thought she was like I thought she brought down the energy of the office.
Well, I think that was the point, kind of like I don't know. I liked her in The Office, and
Man,
she
so
wrote
now
a
that I'm
bunch of
thinking
the
about it, if she's that girl in the office that just always like brings down the energy, then she did a good job. I might have to go back and watch The Office with that in my head now.
Yeah,
Kelly
yeah,
Kapoor, Mindy Kaling.
yeah. Mindy Kaling. Kelly Kapoor was her
Mindy,
character in The Office.
I was like, Kelly Kapoor. That's from Saved by the Bell, but that's Kapowski. I just saw Kelly Ka and I got excited.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Jones says, "Where's the Pixar movie about Sonny?" That's gonna be where Pixar's like they show the trailer and it's the little boy and he finds his dad's gun. And they'll be like, "Oh man, how's this going?" I'm just kidding. I never found my dad's gun. He just showed him to me. He was like, "Hey, you want to see this?"
Oh
Like,
shit.
heck yeah, Dad.
That's better
See,
than
I didn't
finding.
even know. Like, I didn't know that that's not normal. So whenever I see those videos where they're like, "Kids, if you ever find your parents' gun, don't touch it." I'm like, my dad tells me if I touch it, wipe my prints and put it back. Like that's what that was my upbringing, dude. I did that the first time I went to academy. I was 21. I was like, ooh, I was looking at the guns and they're like, "You want to see one?" I was like, "How about that one right there?" They're like, "Okay." They handed it to me and I grabbed it with the inside of my shirt. And man, the looks that I got from all of them, they were like,
Are you ghetto motherfucker?
yeah, they're like, "He's not putting in print. I'm not putting the prints on there at all." So like wiping it off before I put it on the counter. I was like, "How many bodies this one got on there?" They're like, "What? Never mind. Forget I asked. Forget I asked it."
Yeah. Do I get a discount per body or? Oh wait, no, you're
Yeah,
not buying them, are you? Well, I don't know what that. I don't know what Academy is. Gun store or?
Academy Sports now does. They sell guns and stuff.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
don't have Academy? Y'all don't have Academy in California?
I
I don't
mean,
think
is that a part of school, like ROTC kind of thing?
it's like that, but they sell little boy shorts. Not like little boy, like boy shorts that are little that women wear.
Wait, hold on. What is it again?
Trackets.
What's Academy? Let's start over real fast.
Academy. You never heard of Academy Sports and Outdoors? It's like Dick's Sporting Goods,
Oh,
Oshman's.
oh, it is a store.
Yeah, it's a store.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think we have
No,
Academy store out here.
if I were to go to buy a gun from just behind an Academy, it'd probably be a lot smoother transaction. They wouldn't look at
Oh,
me funny for wiping my prints.
yeah, they'd probably be doing the same thing. They'd hand it to you in a paper towel or whatever, and
Yeah, they're like,
yeah.
"Here it is. Keep it in the bag." Okay. Uh, oh look, tu madre está tan gorda. Dice, after my dad died, we found a small arsenal. We didn't know he was into guns.
Crazy.
I hope one day I find my dad's stash. I just assume my dad stashed some spot somewhere, and on his deathbed, he's gonna be like, "Here's some coordinates.
Oh shit.
It's yours, mijo." I'm like, yes. I'm like, none of these have serial numbers. How am I supposed to register them? He's like, that's not what I taught you.
Yeah. Use your shirt. Don't forget the lesson.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of shirts in there to go with each gun. Matt Logic 44 says Academy is not on the West Coast. It's Dick's.
Yep, Dick's Sporting Goods.
We got that here too. My cousin used to hate when I would tag him when we be there on Facebook. I'd be like, looking for some balls at Dick's. He'd be like, don't put that. Stop tagging me. I'm like, I'm gonna tag you either way, man.
Before I knew what it was, I used to go to this. I bet Rick Jones and Tu Madre Están Gorda probably know what I'm talking about. But like, if you're driving down Bascom and San Jose, guys, like I didn't know what Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh no, you know what? It's not Dick's Sporting Goods. It's just a place called Dick's Center, and it's like it's hella grimy ass stores, and just a big old sign that says Dick's. And I used to drive to the record store down there, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is in there?" And it'd be like, you know, like Vietnamese coffee shops and shit, like grimy shit, like, you know, like things you like. The Dick's thing wasn't false advertisement. It was kind of like, you know, it was clever marketing.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Joey B says, does Big Five still exist in Cali? I've never heard that one. And we had Sports Authority. We had one, and then it became Oshman's, and then it became Dick's.
Big Five. There's still a couple of Big Fives. Rick Jones says Streetlight Records was down the street. Yeah, I'd go to Streetlight Records. I'd be driving to Streetlight Records and then see the big old Dick Center and shit, and I'd be like, "Why would
your curiosity?"
Yeah,
your curiosity.
There. Whoopsie.
Yeah. Oh, how do I get in here? Do I got to show my ID? See, it used to be Red Light Wade.
Streetlight neighborhood used to be Red Light Wade. What's that mean, Red Light? Oh, is that like
Hey, I thought Red Light Wade was your name in college. Like, oh,
Red Light Wade. Oh shit.
Man, hold up. That's what you rapped under, right?
Yeah, Red Light Wade. What? So what does red light mean? Is that like red light district? Is that what you mean, Rick Jones? Like, you go to Dick Center and get fucked, or why would they call it? I don't know. They should have called it ass, like, or something.
They probably got a lot of places there. Well, like our grocery stores, they're HEB, but the B stands for Butts because that's their last name.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes my little kid would be like, "Dad, we're going to the butt store." I'm like, "You got to stop saying that in public, dude." Like, that's...
Red light with the porno theater and sex workers. Oh yeah, it's a grimy street, that's for sure.
That sounds like a couple of our streets here in Austin. Like, it's funny too because like I was riding around with an ex in my old neighborhood, and she was like, "Wow, people are out late." And I go, "Yeah." I go, "So that's a prostitute. That's a drug dealer. I think that's her pimp, if I'm not mistaken, because he's always right there." And she's like, "How do you know these things?" I'm like, "If you stop at a stop sign, they'll approach you and they'll try to sell you something." You're like, "No, I'm all right. I don't need that right now."
Oh man.
Or ever, unless I'm not judging.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy.
Weasel says, "Wade, you look like you're ready to film on an episode of the Red Green Show."
What's that mean? What's the Red Green Show?
I don't know. It sounds Christmassy.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Did you have a good Christmas? A good Christmas? Yeah.
No, I had a horrible Christmas. I had COVID, so I was like stuck in my room.
Hey, you did have COVID. Yeah, I remember I tuned in a few weeks. I was like, this fool's still sick.
Yeah, I was sick, and then I was like, I tested positive forever, and I had to sit in here for Christmas time. I had a blow up mattress on the floor and shit. It was like, it's nice, right? Like, I'm with my toys and my comics and stuff like that. But I was thinking, like, man, it must suck to go to jail. Like, I know that I'm not comparing the two, but it's kind of like I couldn't go outside of my wife would prefer that I didn't go out. It's not like I was actually trapped, but I was kind of I was just
Yeah.
made me think. I was like, man, it would suck. Like you can't go outside and shit. Like that's crazy. I'm not gonna murder
Well,
anyone like I had planned.
like my oldest kid, he had COVID, and I called my work, and I was like, "Hey, I got to." Well, I was at work, and I was like, "Oh, he got a fever. I got to go home so I could test him." He tested positive. I called work. I was like, "Hey, yeah, he tested positive." They're like, "Yeah, okay, Sonny, don't come in for a week. Just work from home." I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
"Man." The next week I was about to be like, "Hey, my dog just tested positive."
Yeah,
Oh, my neighbor tested positive. He was over here coughing. Like I was like, "How do I keep working from home?"
that's nice. So working from home is the best.
Yeah, you get to work from home often or not?
Sometimes, well, every Friday I work from home, and
Oh,
like
okay.
that week after Christmas I worked from home because I had COVID. But yeah, working from home is awesome.
Yeah, I tend to so I when I work from home, it's usually when I monitor my people because I don't have to worry about someone bursting into my office and
Yeah.
then they hear someone say something wrong or whatever. So
Wait, so
that's why I like to work from home.
what do you do?
I'm a supervisor. I work at a courthouse. I can say that now. Like
Oh,
before, they're like, "Sonny, don't tell anybody you work for the court." And I'm like, "Okay." And then they had me go do infomercials for the court, and I'm like,
oh,
"Okay, they're gonna find out."
you did an
So
infomercial? That's crazy.
So it's like we do a warrant amnesty thing, basically saying, hey, if you got warrants, come on in. We'll waive the warrant fee if you take care of your cases.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I go on and I'm just like, yo, what's up, criminals? It's
Oh,
Sunny. Y'all got warrants? Come down through. No, I don't do it exactly like that, but I had did them like I had did them on my own previously, just because like they put out a PSA where they're like, hi, um, we know we all make mistakes, and sometimes we need a little redemption. And if you come to the court, blah blah blah, whatever. So I did my own videos. I was like, "Hey, what's up, criminals? Hey, y'all need to take care of these warrants. Cool, come down through the court." But I never like acknowledged that I worked for the court or anything like that. I just provided information, and I got in trouble. Almost got fired for it until the
oh,
court people were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." Sonny actually reached the audience that we're trying to target.
oh
And
shit.
I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, because I know criminals, like, and they're gonna listen to me because of where I'm from. And so they were like, okay, instead of you doing them on your own, let's just we'll work together.
Yeah, you met in the
I was
middle.
like, cool. Yeah, I go, cool, but I'm not gonna read y'all words because y'all are too square with it. And they were like, exactly. They're like, we've been to Disney World. We know white people. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure do. Sweet.
But
No,
no,
but so I started doing that. So I was like, I guess now I can say I work for the court on air and stuff because
it's not
if
a
you Google, I'll pop up with that.
that's
And
pretty cool.
well, it's funny because like a lot of people that know me here from Austin, from being from the ghetto and stuff, they when those videos came out, they all shared it just to mock me. But what they really did was got the word out, so that was cool. But
Yeah,
they
all
were
their
like,
ghetto friends.
yeah, they were like, look at Sonny being a snitch, and I was like, dang it, man, like that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to help y'all people. But hey, they were like, Sonny, this video's got shared so many times. I'm like, yeah, it's because all these people mocking me, but it's cool because they got the word out.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, Mr. Jones says, can you make my warrants disappear? Incorrect. I cannot do that. That's a felony. I hate when people ask me. People, my family will be like, hey, man, can you erase my warrants? I'm like, hey, man, yeah, you got to rob a bank for me first, though. I was like,
Yeah,
we need to both have the same risk level.
let's make it worth it, motherfucker.
Yeah, but man, so many people be like, so if I just go down there, you can erase my warrants. I'm like, you're asking for real? Like, that's a weird thing to ask. Like, I get people to joke about it, but people come up to me for real. Like, hey, man, I'm low on funds this month. Can you erase the warrants that I had from 5 years ago? I'm like, okay, you have 5 years to pay, man. You should just pay that off. Like, what's
Yeah,
up,
you
bro?
should have been saving, motherfucker. Damn.
Yeah, I'm like, remember when you worked at Walmart? You charged me tax on my stuff? Nah, get away from me with that.
Jeez.
But I'm a supervisor actually. I tell people what to do, but I also
Oh,
have to make sure they do their job properly.
nice. Yeah, but that's cool. You could do it from home though.
Yeah, sometimes they get the angry customers, and angry customers are all talking to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, tell me about your problems. Okay, cool. Like I'm up here messing with stuff.
Wait, when you say customers, you mean criminals whose warrants you've dealt with?
So when they call in for information, we treat them as customers.
Oh, okay.
When
And
they
then they
come in
make
for
complaints.
court, they're defendants. When they
Okay.
get the ticket, I call them criminals. They're like, Sonny, you gotta stop calling them criminals. I can call them whatever I want. Most of them are my cousins or friends. Like, I know these people. Man, Olu says he's been practicing criminal law for 13 years.
Damn, there you go. That's a good run.
Man, that's what's up. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there almost this September will be 10 years that I've been there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Congratulations. It's tough to keep a job for that long. Like, I don't think I've ever kept a job for 10 years. Where I'm at now, I've been here for like 8 years and I'm already like,
damn,
fuck
good.
this. But, and I like it. Like, it's a good place to work. But, I don't know. I think I just have a time limit where I'm like, let the intrusive thoughts get to me.
Some people do that because I'm a supervisor. They come up and talk to me about the random things they're going, with their as far as like their career or their life. Or like, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Like Earth or the court. Like I gotta know
Yeah.
which. They're like, no, the court. The court. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, because I know your outside life ain't too fun, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And they're like, what's wrong with my outside life? I'm like, no, we're talking about the court here. All right, we'll come bring it back in. But like they come up and talk to me, and I try to help them out. Like this past fiscal year, I helped 5 people get promoted. Like that's what I prefer to do. I prefer to help people elevate themselves rather than be like, oh, you're doing a bad job.
So
I gotta fire you now.
When you say you help 5 people, does that mean 5 people that work under you got promotions or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. And it sucked because then I had like all new people the whole year. It was like trying to train everybody up.
Oh, that's.
But I tell my people, like, look, it's going to be rough, but the time comes when you're going to want to move up. I'm going to help you move up as well. So I just need you to muscle through this. And they're like, oh, okay. All right. And because of where I came from and who I am and how I am, the fact that I'm a supervisor, they're like, you know what? I believe this guy.
They're like, if he could do it, anyone can. That's like,
dude, like whenever we have new people come in, new trainees, I always come on and be like, hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Sonny. How y'all doing? They're like, oh, hey. I go, I know y'all probably thinking right now, like, oh, this guy does not look like a supervisor. And you're right. I won a raffle at Christmas time and I got to be a supervisor for a year. Dude, so many people are like, wow, that's really progressive. This company. Yeah. They're like, wow, okay. It's like the participation trophy. Everyone gets to be a supervisor.
Everyone gets a turn. Damn.
Yeah, it's my turn now. But yeah, no, it's and then some of them are like, I always tell people, where y'all from? And they're like, oh, I'm from here. Anytime someone's like, I'm from Austin, I said, that's what I'm talking about. Represent it, hold it down.
Damn,
and
set tripping. You guys start set tripping right there.
Exactly. They're like, is he throwing gang member signs at me? I'm not rep. Where you from, dog? Where you from? I wasn't born here. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, you work in Austin though, right?
Yeah, I work in Austin.
Oh, okay. So you're probably doing that shit all day, every day then.
Yeah. I rep on everyone.
Like somewhere else, and then like someone from Austin like randomly pops up sometimes.
Oh yeah, no. Well, so that's the thing about Austin. Like, there's very few people who were born and raised in Austin that still live here. Like most of the people that come into work, they're like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from, California, New York, North Carolina. Some people are like, oh, I'm from here. I'm like, oh yeah, what part? They're like San Antonio. Okay, that's not Austin. It's like it's a whole different city. Like, I don't know if you know that. We got different soccer teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from California that went out, that I know personally that went out to Texas because there was a minute there when it was like, it seemed like there was a lot of incentives to go buy property in Texas.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be aimed at people from California.
Yeah, it was popping because it was aimed at people from California because y'all make so much more money than we do. Because that stuff was high priced.
What? Like, what's high? Oh, in California, yeah, it's crazy high price. I almost
like, oh,
I don't know where, but
yeah, no, because like the people that bought my parents' house, they bought it for just under $500,000, and it was in the ghetto, and the house was only worth like 70,000, if that.
Where?
And in Austin, in East Austin, where I was born and raised. Yeah, the house was only like 1,200 square foot, but it was the CEO of marketing of Facebook.
Who bought it?
Yeah, he bought it paid cash. My dad said he freaked out one morning because he went to the ATM to get out $20 so he could buy coffee. Yeah. And he goes, man, I saw like almost $500,000 in my bank account. I'm like, God dang, like, should have took a picture.
Damn, that's crazy. So, man, so your parents bought their house for 70,000 whenever, and then they sold it for 500,000.
Not even the case, man. My my parents bought the original house that I was born in and raised in from my grandpa
Oh,
for like a couple $1,000s. They just paid him monthly or whatever. And then when I was a teenager, they called the city up. They're like, "Hey, we heard that y'all have programs to help us poor folks repair our house." And they're like, "Yeah, we sure do, little poor people. We'll go down there and inspect it and see what we got to do."
yeah.
They go down to inspect it and condemn the house.
What does that
I
mean?
was like, meaning this house is unlivable. Like people shouldn't be living in these conditions.
Oh, but your parents owned the house, and they said,
Yeah. Like
what happened to that?
I was sitting down in the living room eating cereal, watching some cartoons, like, did he just say we can't live here no more? And they were like, your house is splitting down the middle. Like, what is going on here? I
I
go,
thought you
that's
were gonna say I
called
was sitting by the
character.
window, and the guy just told me it was a hole in the wall with saran
Yeah,
wrap on it. Like,
exactly. Dude, we lived down the street was a power plant.
oh,
And it made a lot of noise. Like we always heard it. It was like just constantly. And so the people they were like, "Oh, we know we feel bad for y'all poor people. We're gonna give y'all storm windows. They're soundproof." We're like, "Yay!" Until we realized all of our walls are paper thin, and we could still hear the power plant clear. Like
oh shit.
it was kind of stupid. Like,
So what happened when they condemn the house? They deem it unlivable, and what you have to
yeah,
move even though you own it.
pretty much what happened was they had another program where they would build you a house.
Oh shit.
And at the time, they said but they told my parents they're like, it's going to be a balloon note or whatever. You're going to pay 70,000 within 30 years. If you don't
Oh
pay it off in 30 years, we'll take the house from you. And my parents were like, let's roll this dice and gamble. So they never paid anything. So
wait, hold on,
we
hold
had,
on. I lost you. So the this program said we'll build you a house,
yep,
and it'll be $70,000, which you have to pay in 30 years. But if you don't pay it, we take the house.
yep.
Okay, okay, all right. That
And they're like, in 30 years, we'll probably be dead. We're never paying this off. And then gentrification happened. And so
oh,
that's when all the visitors of Disneyland came in,
whites, yeah.
started buying up properties, and the dude paid almost $500,000 for my parents' house. They paid, they're like, here, have your little $70 There's 70,000 little funky little dollars. You can have that. And then they bought another house.
Wait, so that's crazy. So they were able to sell it
Yeah,
even though it was part of this program? Like,
pretty much.
damn. And then, damn, that's crazy. That's hella
I
crazy
know.
because you'd imagine within 30 years, at some point, the value of the house will be more than 70,000 because 70,000 is nothing. And like you're paying
Yeah.
probably $100 a month if it's over 30 years, or your parents weren't even paying. So, but like, damn. So man, they made out. That's dope.
Yeah, they did. I was like, man, that's what's up right there. The only thing that sucked, I was like, Dad, hold up. Y'all had to wait to make these smart money decisions when I was an adult. Like, I didn't even get to experience this as a kid. They're like, that's okay. We're going to take your kids to McDonald's every time they're here. I'm like, that doesn't make up for my childhood. What?
Damn, that's crazy. That's one of those things where like because these days it's impossible to buy property unless you find a way to like well, I mean most people, right? And most people are like I don't want to say poor, but most people are like, middle to lower class, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
There's very small percentage of people that are like wealthy and rich or whatever. So like it's tough to buy like property. You have to find like weird tricks to do it. Like we did like last time the market crashed, I think it was like 2008 or something. Like when it all like tumbled down all crazy, everybody was losing their job. I was like, time to buy a house because I knew that was the only time that like we could afford it. And I was working because I had a low level job. I was working in a warehouse for like $8 an hour, and I was able to go buy a house because everything was like foreclosed and blah 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 blah. And then
Yeah.
since then the world kind of went back to normal, and my house sold that house, bought a new house, whatever. So like you got to find these weird tricks, especially if you're fucking poor,
Yeah, I know. So I was like, man, I was like, that's what's up. But yeah, so now they live in I want to say their house is 2,800 square foot. So they more than doubled the square footage of their house, basically.
Nice. And for
So I was
I don't
like,
know what
man,
year this you're talking about, for 500,000 you could buy a nice house in Texas, like probably anywhere.
yeah. So yeah, so that was about so my kid's gonna be 8. So that was about 7 years ago. No,
Okay.
about 6.5 years ago. And now in Texas, like my house value is almost doubled. And I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn, like what? But so their house is is way more than what they initially paid, because then they hit a lick again, because then they went to a new neighborhood that was being built, and they were like, okay, well, if you buy now without the house being built, you'll get a discounted rate.
Oh,
And they're
nice.
like, let's do it. And they were like, also, if you pay cash, you'll get another discounted rate. So they had two discounts on top of what their house would have cost.
Damn. And they had the cash to pay for it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, your parents, that's very business or savvy, you know. It's good to be. Some people like see opportunities like that and they think like, oh, we can't take advantage of this, or like they get scared of the gravity of it, you know. So that's dope that your
Yeah.
parents were jumping all over that shit.
Yeah. I was like, man, when did y'all learn this business stuff? Because y'all couldn't even balance a checkbook when I was younger. It's like, Dad, are you taking online classes? I don't know what's going on, man.
Crazy.
But yeah, I was like, all right, well, you know. But yeah, nah, man. Right now, like the property values are insane right now
Yeah.
here in Texas. I don't know why, but
Well, I think like in Texas, I think all those people went out there, and then once that happens, it's like, you know, it's
yeah,
yeah. If it's the spot everybody wants to go, it gets expensive.
yeah. Let's see. Mr. Jones says, what sucks is property taxes cause all the new neighborhoods around here keep making them go up. Yeah, our property taxes went down. They raised the tax exemption or the homestead exemption. I was like, yeah. And then my insurance went up, so it just balanced out.
Oh, interest rates is crazy right now.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky Butter says options are always better than forcing yourself to make a move.
Yeah, for sure. That's very true.
I don't know if I could. I don't know. I think I'd just be like, if I had to move out of my house, I think I'd be a squatter at my own house. Right. Then be like, yeah, so here's the bathroom, the previous tenant. Here's the kitchen. Here's the living room. Whoa. Go back to the tenant part. He lives in that closet. Don't worry about him. It's like a family of possums. It's a family of Hispanics. They just live in that closet.
A bunch of toys. See those toys?
Yeah, exactly. He could have saved his house, but he'd rather keep that Gomez figure.
Yeah. Oh shit. Fucking Gomez, man.
Man, did you see that new one that came out? It like sold out like within minutes.
Yeah, I guess Plasty was saying that it sold out like within 10-15 minutes or something. It was like super quick. I didn't get it. At this point, I don't really have too much of an interest in the Gomez stuff. Like, it looks cool. Like, obviously, they're really dope, but it's like I don't need that shit. Like, I have 4 or 5 of them, like some of the older ones, and I don't need any more.
Yeah, I think I only have 3 Gomez's. Altogether, I think I only have 3. Yeah.
I mean, like, compared to how many they've put out, like, that's not a whole lot, but it's pretty cool that, like, Mezco created that, like, character, and, like, everybody in the community has a couple, you know what I mean? Like, a bunch of people have, like, 1 or 2. They have 50 of them or whatever, but everyone you talk to is like, oh, I got 1 and tried it, or I got 3, or I think I got 5. Well, I don't know. Maybe less than that.
It was funny too, like when I first started collecting, because I was like, okay, I collect these Marvel figures that I know. And then I think Jay Hernandez was the first one that had like a Gomez. Like I saw him talk about a Gomez figure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that a roach? I'm like, I grew all my life trying to get away from roaches.
Yeah.
And now I might want to buy one. I'm like, well, what's going on?
Yeah, the roach aspect, that kind of turns people off, but I don't know. Like, they're cool. They're cool for sure, but I'm definitely done with them.
Yeah, I want them to make a possum figure. I'll be like, yeah, a possum.
That'd be dope.
Get other poor people animals.
Yeah.
Olu had a question for you. He said, what kind of music does Odious listen to? And I bring it up because I saw your let's see, where's that? I saw your comment about Drake not being hip hop on Instagram, which I totally agree with.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I was reposting. Most Def had an interview.
Most Def, right?
Did you see that?
Yeah. Yassine, what?
Yassine Bey.
Yassine Bey. There you go.
Yeah, he somebody asked him like, oh, what do you think of, or is Drake hip hop? And he's like, not really. I mean, like, and I get in fights with people all the time over this because like, I'm cool with, you know, people like Drake, that's cool, but I just don't see him as a rapper, you know. Like I get in these arguments with people that like him, and it was funny to hear him say that because that's why when I reposted, I was like, "Told you, motherfuckers!" But
Dude, when so I posted a picture with like some action figures like back in the pandemic times,
yeah,
and someone was all like, they're like, dude, they're like, seriously, man, you collect little toys? I go, you think Drake is a good rapper?
yeah.
Who's the loser now? And they're like, I hate. I'm just saying he got good songs. I'm like, he's not a rapper. Like,
Hey, so when I posted that, like, I had this dude talking shit. I had a couple people talking shit, and like, one guy was all like, "Man, you need to open your mind, Drake." I was like, "Look, send me the top 5 best Drake songs, like the songs that you love that you think will convince me, and I'll go listen to them." And I listened to the first one, and I forget what it was called, but it had Bun B on it. So I was like, "Okay, well, Bun B's verse is good, and Lil Wayne is on there." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine." But Drake was fucking whack. So I was like, "All right, whatever." So let me check out the next song. I listened to the next song. I got like halfway through, and I hit him up. I was like, "Are you? Let me just. Are you joking with me, or like I need to know, like, do I continue listening to these, or like, are you like pranking me?" And he's like, "Come on, man." I'm like, "Dude, these suck." Like, I swear I thought he was joking because he's kind of a funny guy and everything. But I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was serious. So it's like it's just a matter of taste, Like I just can't get into it. But
I just I'm like, dude talks about the softest stuff. Anytime I've heard him, he's rapping soft, and I'm like, I I've never been a fan of him. Like, there's some songs he's on, and I'll listen to those songs, but I never like listen to, oh, this is a Drake song. I gotta listen to this one. Like that one started from the bottom. They're like,
yeah,
Sonny, he's talking about our struggle. I go, he didn't struggle.
he just
He
struggle.
grew
Yeah,
up in Canada. There's a picture of him with the in-ground pool. I didn't even have an above-ground pool. Like, I don't know what bottom he's talking about. He started from like the upper bottom. I don't know,
yeah,
like,
the middle bottom.
yeah. It's like I don't. It wasn't. We're not the same bottoms.
When I first heard him, it was on that song with Lil Wayne, Eminem, and Kanye West, "Forever." And like
Oh yeah, yeah.
when I heard him on there, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like this, I don't know who this guy is or whatever, but he kind of had, he's kind of hanging with some like heavyweights. That's pretty dope. And then like, I was interested at that point, and then every single thing I heard after that was trash, and I was just like, "Yep, not for me." And then he blew up and became like the biggest thing ever, and this and that, and it's like, that's cool. Taylor Swift has a lot of fans too, so it's like whatever. Like I don't, it's not. But hearing Most Def say that was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Like, I just hope he doesn't go back on it because, like Pimp C, before he died, he was all like, "Atlanta ain't the South," and then everybody got mad in Atlanta, and then he had to
Atlanta,
retract that. He had to retract it and be like, "No, Atlanta is the South. Y'all misunderstood." And we're like, "No, you clearly said Atlanta's not the South." Because
maybe he
what
changed his
he
mind
meant,
though, because that's a heavy statement. Like, because then you're taking
so
out Outcast.
what he meant was, it's not the Southern style that Texas is. So he could have just said Atlanta and Texas are different, but he said
Right.
Atlanta's not the South. And then he put it in a song,
Oh,
uh on was it the Chameleonaire? He had "Won't Let You Down," and he's like, that's one of the lines in there. He's like, "Atlanta's the South, that's no doubt." I'm like,
oh, he had
mm,
to retract it in a more
yeah,
official way. Yeah.
yeah. So I
That's
just hope
tough.
that Mos Def doesn't come back on that. Mos Def's not like, "No, I didn't say that. Yassine said that."
Well, in the interview, he seemed very much um, it was funny. He was even like, why do you say this? Why do you make me? I don't know. That was like his attitude. It was like he didn't want to answer it, but he couldn't help it. And then it was funny. He's like, yeah, he's like shopping music and like shopping with the edge. And then he goes, he's likable,
He's
likable.
likable.
Yeah,
Well, that's the crazy thing, because like when he first came out, Bun B like co-signed for him in Houston. It was like, this is an artist. This is who to listen to. And I was like, man, Bun B, I don't know.
I like
I
Bun
like
B.
what
He co-signs for a lot of people. Like
I
Bun B is all over.
yeah, I like Bun B. I went to Trill Burger a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and
right.
Bun B's restaurant,
Yeah.
and I saw him. I was like, "Can I get a picture?" He's like, get your picture." I was like, "All right, never taken a picture with a restaurant owner." What? But like, it was cool. Like, inside, they're only playing songs that Bun B is on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, hey, little kids, let's not repeat these words that Bun B just said. Because
Now,
it's
Bun B,
completely
man, what?
uncensored. But it was cool. I mean, it's a good burger. It's a bit
Nice.
expensive. It's expensive, but it's a good burger. Or it's like Las Vegas prices for the burger. So
Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah,
it's
but
a rapper, so I get it.
correct. You're pretty much you're paying to potentially see Bun B, which he was standing outside by my truck. I was like, we could have just pulled up and saw him. We didn't have to go in.
I wonder,
No,
is
but
he
we
there
went.
often? Like, is that do
Yeah,
people say? Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. But the funny thing is like people are like, oh, I wish I saw him, and some people are like, oh, I saw him there, and I'm like, you didn't take a picture, and they're like, no, I didn't want to bother him. He knows who he is. Like
But yeah, yeah,
it's not like because when I saw him, he was trying to discuss with someone that worked there about their broken soda machines and broken ice machine.
yeah.
And I was like, hey, can I grab a picture? And he's like, wave me over. He's all like, so when's the Iceman coming? When's the carbonation guy? Okay, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, this selfie time. So I was like,
Nice.
he's cool about it. So I was like, all right, but he did look a little bit bothered by the couple that came up after me. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
because they were more like,
Oh yeah.
it's like, don't do that. Don't, just
But
be cool.
I mean, if you're Bun B, you probably don't get that second uh reaction too often. You probably get more because Bun B is like more of like a he's not like a commercial guy. Like my wife wouldn't know who
Yeah.
Bun B is, but she's heard his music, but she wouldn't know him by looking at him.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny too, because like I told my mom, I was like, yeah, we went to Trill Burger. And she goes, did you she goes, did you meet the bun guy? I was like, yes, the guy who makes the buns, we met him.
no, but I mean, you guys are in Texas, so it's probably like
Yeah.
I wonder if my mom would know E40. I feel like she would, but I'm sure your mom doesn't know E40. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
regional kind of thing.
Yeah. My mom knows it's funny, the ones that my mom does know. She'll just pop out. She'll be like, hey, well, like Chingo Bling, she heard about him on the news or whatever. And she was like, hey, your friend, Mr. Bling. I go, Mr. Bling. She goes, I don't want to say his first name. It sounds gross. I'm like, it's not gross. But yeah, she calls him Mr. Bling. But she was like, yeah, he was on the news. I was like, oh, okay.
Your mom
Olu
would be
says
like,
he's
"You hear that new K Reno song?"
yeah. Yeah. Olu says he spoke with Bun B and told him my unborn children at the time would be raised on his music.
Nice.
That's trill.
That's
She said
true.
that's trill. But yeah, no, he seemed like a nice dude. Like the first time that I didn't meet him, but I went to an autograph signing for Bun B. But Pimp C had just died like
Oh
2 weeks
shit.
prior. Man, nobody spoke in line. They were just like,
Why would he do? That's crazy. I mean, I guess it's his job. You got to keep it going. And at that time,
yeah,
Bun B was on a run. Remember, like he was right before Pimp C came out of jail. Like Bun B was everywhere.
yeah, he was hitting the mixtapes hard. Like
Yeah.
everybody on a mixtape. And I was like, man, okay. And then it was when the 2 Trill came out, or Trill 2, whichever way you want to say it. But
Yeah.
that was the one that I got autographed, and
Oh, nice.
I felt weird because I was like, I'm trying to get this selfie, but he was just like,
Oh yeah, that sucks.
I was like, dang, man. I was like, this is weird. And but I didn't do what a lot of people did. A lot of people were like, hey, my condolences about Pimp C. I'm like, do you think he wants to hear that 50 times? Like, come
Oh
on,
yeah,
man. Like,
they're trying to be
like,
nice, but yeah, that's tough.
but yeah, it's like, oh, keep reminding him. He's probably doing this to get his mind off of it. And everybody's telling him. So it's like,
Should have threw a curveball like, "Hey man, rest in peace to DJ Screw." He'd be like,
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm pulling up for DJ Screw. Hey, dog, you hear about Kurt Cobain?
Kurt Cobain, yeah.
But yeah,
I
no.
wasn't a big fan of that Trill 2 album, only because like it didn't feel like an album. Like at the time, like he was doing all the mixtape shits and whatever. That felt like a album of
So
collaborations.
I like Trill. I did not like 2 Trill. And so what I did to avoid playing it was like, oh, I can't open that. Bun B signed it.
There you go.
So
That'll work.
it's like I don't gotta listen to it no more. But yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I wish he would have had like a real good. I gotta check out Trill One. I can't remember that one really, but I wish he had a good because he's such a dope rapper. It would be cool if he had a like a solid solo album, like an actual album.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff. I mean, UGK shit always felt like albums, but like a lot of Bun B stuff felt like mixtapes of like collaborations, and the collaborations are cool, but an album would have been nice.
Yeah, it was funny because because Pimp C had brought out Pimpilation, and
Oh,
someone was like, "Oh, they're like, oh, I didn't really feel like an album. It felt more like a mixtape, like it was a compilation." I was like, "It's literally called Pimpilation. Like,
yeah, it
it's
sounds like
what it is. Like, I
it's
don't know
not
how
Pimp
you
C's life story.
misconstrued. Yeah, I don't know what confused you about that."
Pimp C. All right, man.
Yeah, Pimp
I gotta gear up to get out of here pretty soon here, Sonny.
All right, hey, I appreciate you popping on, man.
Yeah,
I've
hell
been
yeah.
telling people. I was like, I swear, one day I'm gonna have a guest on here. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, one of these days, like when there's not, well, when I don't work on a Monday, I'd love to come back on here or get you on mine. Cause you know what? I'm so horrible about like getting guests. Um, that's why like a lot of times I'm just like solo Friday because I just don't feel like talking to people. And I always tell people like, people that I'm cool with can hit me up and say, hey, maybe I could come on one day. And usually if I'm cool with you, I just go, nah, or like, or yeah, let me figure it out. But at least like I try, I tell Plasty all the time, like Plasty, I'd love to have you back, but I'm not gonna ask you because I'm not gonna remember, or I just don't feel like talking. So hit me up and we'll figure it out. But yeah, same thing for you.
yeah,
Hit me up and we'll definitely do some more.
yeah, I'll do that. I like collabing with people, especially when people have no idea who I am or why I'm on their on
Hey,
their show.
I think last time you
Dude,
were on, people really enjoyed it. Again, that was shit. That was a different time though. That was like still in
yeah,
the pandemic era.
that was also when I was like, I have no idea what I'm talking about here on this live stream.
Oh shit! Now you're triple OG with the action figure shit.
Yeah, now I'm all like, what? I do this all the time. I even go back on stage. What? What's funny because like I did a stream with somebody who I performed with plenty of times, but I had no idea who their audience was. And they were like, this next guy needs no introduction. We got Sonny Castillo. And I'm like, I totally needed an introduction. I had no idea who these people are. Like,
And that was like a more comedy podcast. I mean,
yeah, it was a comedy thing, but it was weird because then like I was talking for about 15 minutes, and then he brought on like people who were like music artists. And I was
oh
like, what is this about, comedy or music? Because I'm the only comedian and you got three music artists on here now. Like, I don't know what's going on.
shit.
But like Chingo Bling did that to me in San Antonio. Like it was his concert, and he had a rapper from San Antonio, King Kyle Lee, and he was like, "What's up, San Antonio?" And everyone's like, "Woo, Chingo!" And he's like, "I got my homie King Kyle Lee," and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Going nuts, hometown guy.
Oh,
And he was,
okay.
"I got my boy Sonny from the 02, crickets." And I was like, "Oh." How did the lighting guy know I was that person? Because they put the light on me too, and I'm like, "Oh, this is even more awkward."
Oh
Like,
shit. Well,
especially because I'm
Tingle
like,
Blink, he's your boy, right? He's trying to help you out, or he's trying to.
we were so I shot photos for him one
Oh, okay.
time, and we just kind of like clicked, and we were like, cool. And I was doing comedy, and he was like, I always try to do comedy, but I sucked when I went to the open mic, so they let me host. And he's like, but I'd like to get into comedy again. And so he actually got back into comedy. Now he's touring doing comedy.
Oh, cool.
And and I work at the courthouse. So, different paths, but but like he put me on two shows, and I do tell people, I'm like, I don't know, I think that second show kind of soured things a little bit
Oh,
because we both performed, and he would come up to me and be like, "Hey man, how you think I did?" And I was like, "Oh man, you did good. Like your timing was good. Said all this stuff." But there was a couple that they were like, "Oh, can we get your picture?" And I scooted out the way, and they scooted with me and asked Chingo Bling to take their picture with me. And I was like, "Ah, that's."
oh, so he
I was
probably
like,
didn't like
"Oh,
that.
yeah, I don't think because you've been nationwide, or he's been worldwide because he does Spanish and everything, so he
Yeah.
gets to go worldwide." And I think that might have I never really heard from him after that. Like every now and then, little tweets back and forth maybe, but like he
It's
ain't
like
never called me on the show.
try to take my
Yeah,
shine.
And it's funny too, because like a friend of mine was like, man, he goes, "Do you like, are you mad that Chingo Bling didn't put you on that Netflix special?" I said, no. I go, that's his show. I go, he can pick who he wants. I go, no, it doesn't bother me. I go, I like
Yeah.
that he got that show. It puts Texas out there. It puts his different artists out there. And they're like,
Damn,
oh, they're
so he
like,
had a
you don't
comedy
hold.
special?
Yeah, it was called "They Can't Deport Us All," which was one of his album titles as well.
Oh.
And it featured a homie of mine, John Stringer, who I think that fool's hilarious comedian. I don't think he's as big as he should be,
Hmm.
but
Damn, I have to
but
check.
yeah,
I
it
didn't know
was
Single Blade did comedy like that. And like I
yeah.
was only vaguely familiar with his music, but you know what? I only heard one song by him. It was a Murs had a song called Hustler, and he did a remix that had Chingo Bling, John Cena, and E40. And like,
Oh man,
yeah, that's the only thing I ever heard from him. And honestly, I was like, who is this guy? Like, he did sound like it was more comedy than just
yeah,
bars, you know. So
yeah,
when you say he's a comedian, I kind of get it.
because like when I first heard him, he was doing the Big Timer song, "Still Fly,"
Oh, okay. He was on that
but
song.
he was like, "Was that?"
He was on that song.
No, no, no. He was, every Houston artist would just take other people's music and then rap over it.
Oh, okay, got you. Right.
They do the flow, so that's what he did. But his were always comedy twists.
Oh, okay,
So when he's like, like quarter tank of gas in my new E class,
got you.
but he was like ostrich skin on my Nike boots, and like he actually had Nike ostrich skin boots made,
Oh,
and
nice.
he would talk about that, and so it was basically all comedy. So like that's what his passion was, but it didn't work out when he did stand up. So then he started rapping because he said he got his business degree,
Oh, okay.
and that's why he was rocking the cowboy hat and
Yeah,
the
I remember
look that he had. And he was like, the first time I met him, he didn't have a cowboy hat, so I had no idea who he was. He's just like another Hispanic dude.
that. Hmm.
And he was like, Sonny? And I was like, yeah. He's like, Chingo.
Chingo.
I'm like, someone get a cowboy hat and put it on his head.
It's
Oh, there you
you.
are. Yeah. So it was like, I did not recognize him. He was all like, man, he was that cowboy hat's a gift and a curse. He was like, I don't like wearing it, but I have to. He goes, but if I don't wear it, I can go out in public and just be myself.
It's like the
And I was
secret
like, oh,
identity and shit.
yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool. He did kind of get like when I first met him, we went to his hotel room in San Antonio so we could get some promo photos for him. I set up a backdrop and everything. And I go, hey, is it cool if I tag you on Facebook? He's like, yeah, go ahead, man. And so I was like, oh, in his hotel room with Chingo Bling making memories. And
Oh
he was
shit.
like, dude. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I can't tag people normally. I apologize, man. But he was cool about it. He was cool.
Nice. All right,
But
man.
yeah.
Well, enjoy the rest of your stream. Enjoy your week, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, and so long to all the people that are gonna drop off with you. I just know that's gonna happen. No, I'm just
No, they'll stick
kidding.
around. No,
No,
thank you for
I
having me on. I
appreciate you.
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on, man. You have a good
Hell
night.
yeah, man. Talk to you later.
All right.
Oh, here we go. All right. Peace out, everyone in the chat. Be cool.
Remember, Wade is live Tuesdays and Fridays. Go check him out. Let's see. Wade get Robo back on Friday. He needs the subs. Oh yeah, Robo's on his own now. Wicked Fat Collectibles, what's going on, man? Sorry, chat. I think I've ignored y'all. Joy B says that was before Sonny was publicly outed as D tier. What? That's why I had to have Wade on here to try to balance the tier levels. Let's see. Mr. Jones says, Sonny, what did Cat Williams say about you in his interview? Unfortunately, nothing. Although that one, I guess, that one thing came out about that he sends women to give comedians money. I can't wait. I also hope he does that. I hope he just gives me money one day. I hope he sends some lady to be like, here you go. Here's some money. Apparently he does that wherever he goes. So he was actually just here in Austin. Oh, I want to say last Friday. I'm not sure when he was here, but he was here in Austin before, which is cool because he just had that. Dude, that Shannon Sharp interview. Some I saw it was at like 44 million views. I was like, man, who knew? Who knew Shannon Sharp would be at that much popularity? Lucky Butter says, do you see young people trying to get better at stand-up or they stop doing stand-up after a couple of tries? So based on the stand up, the open mics that I went to and saw, I feel like I see more young people doing it to stroke their own egos. Like when they get up there and like, so when they were getting up there and bombing, they were still coming off stage with confidence, which was weird. Like when I first started, if someone went on stage and bombed, they got off stage, packed their stuff, and then left. So they're like, I don't want to do it, seeing people around me no more. But it's almost like these people were told they're funny, and so they went up and like I got decent laughs, and the people after me didn't, and so some of them were like, "Oh, tough crowd we got here." I'm like, "It's not a tough crowd. You didn't say a joke." So it's kind of weird. But I do see them trying, not necessarily trying. I see them forcing it on you. Like they're like, "Oh, okay, that didn't work today. It's gonna work tomorrow." It's not gonna work tomorrow. Like it's the same crowd. Like you can't be doing that. Mr. Jones says my friend Phil tried stand up once. He's pretty funny naturally, but for whatever reason, he bombed pretty bad and never did it again. Did you see him perform though? Like, what were his jokes like? Because sometimes people don't have the right audience either. Now he works for some kind of chemical plant. That's the career path that most comedians take now. Uh, but yeah, no, because like some comedians try to push the envelope. Like, oh, I'm gonna say something edgy, and people are gonna laugh. But like one dude was saying a bunch of stuff that was edgy. It could have been funny, but he didn't say it with enough confidence. So it sounded more like he was just reading these words instead of performing the content that he was making. So it's kind of odd. But yeah, like he was trying to say stuff that was like he one thing that people would not let go of last Tuesday was the Palestinian Israeli war. I have no idea why they thought these jokes would be funny. They kept bringing them up. I'm like, okay, it didn't work for the last four people. Why are you still trying these jokes? Like, it's not, this ain't the crowd that wants to hear that. Because they're like, oh, I don't even remember the jokes because I was just like, what are you talking about? You're talking about a war. It's not working very well. And they were like, oh, that worked so much better before Hanukkah. And you're like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what? And then one guy like talked about that, and he was like, too soon. Guess we'll talk about Nazi Germany. I'm like, dude, I don't know who that worked with. I don't know if you tried that material before, but it didn't work with the crowd. Like what it says, I just feel like most young people won't put the work in that stand up takes to get a good flow. That's true. Because like I said, they rely on that I'm naturally funny, so I'm just gonna make these people laugh by saying something a certain way. You get I hate to lump them all in one, but a lot of the female comedians that I saw at a previous open mic 2 weeks ago, they try to play like cutesy. But I'm like, you gotta at least be a four to play cutesy. And they weren't. And so it's like, it's not working very well. Uh, they all had sex related jokes. And you don't want to look at some of them. Like, you start picturing, you're like, ugh, let's stop putting that image in my head. I didn't want to see that. And it was very bizarre because they all had similar jokes going up one right after the other, saying these similar jokes, still not getting the laughs that the last person got, but still doing it anyway. So it's kind of also like if you're gonna go do a comedy, if you're gonna go do comedy, pay attention to what's going on before you. Because if that joke didn't work for one person, unless you switched it up completely and have an actual punchline, it's not gonna work for you either. It's kind of weird that people keep going for those. Mr. Jones says, I think another issue is I think people are a little more sensitive to certain things that used to make for great jokes, but now come off as offensive. That's what Cat Williams said. He was like, there's words we used to use that someone said that's offensive. So we stopped using the words. And as comedians, you need to find a new way to get that point across or to get that joke across. And so that's the part too. It's like if something is offensive and you say it just for the sake of being offensive, it's not funny. And that's what a lot of people are doing. Especially when I was talking about earlier when they're like, oh, my check engine light came on. Guess I'm gay now. Like that's doesn't work that way. Like Butter says, that's definitely a factor too. The mama stan gorda, dice, I think people are just not willing to be the punchline anymore. That's another true part right there. Or they it's like they want to be cool. They want to be the punchline, but they want to be cool, and so they don't let it hit properly. Like I don't care if I'm the punchline. Make me the punchline. That's fine. People have made me the punchline when I got off stage, and I'm like, cool. I'm glad I could work that with you. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, I'm gonna say something about that you said or about your demeanor in my old style. I'll be like, go ahead, cool. Hopefully it kills for you, man. But yes, a lot of people they're like, oh, I'm an entertainer. I'm too cool. You can't make fun of me. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you're gonna make fun of other people. People can make fun of you. You can make fun of yourself. Mr. Jones says, so when you do stand up, do you have all that stuff memorized in sequence, like an order for each joke, or just put them together as you go? Previously on X-Men, no, previously in my old style, I kind of went in chronological order. And then at one point, I just broke off and just started saying random jokes. And in fact, in some of my sets, I would say, I would start off with my stillborn joke, then go through like elementary, high school, college, my first marriage, that divorce, and then my new relationship, the marriage on that one, the kids. And then I would be like, these next few jokes are in no particular order. And people would laugh because they're like, wow, he just took us through his whole life. And now he's just going to tell random jokes. And so I would do that sometimes if I had like 10 to 20 minutes to do. I would do it that way. If I had like, if they were like, oh, just do a quick 5 minutes, it would just be random jokes. I'll just pull them out from my head. Ms. Jill says, or do you have two sets memorized in case that the person that goes before you has similar jokes or jokes that don't work? I used to substitute jokes if something was too similar until Carlos Alazraki told me, who cares if your joke is similar as long as the punchline is different and it's funny. So I did that because what's his name? Is it Gene? Or was it Mark? There was one of the comedians, I think it was Gene Pompeo, I think is his last name. He said a joke that was very similar, but and I was like, oh crap, I can't say my joke now. And Carlos Alazraki, Rocco's Modern Life, goes, you say your joke, Sonny. You say it. And I was like, all right, I'll say it, man. And so that's when I was like, okay, you know what? As long as the punchline is different enough and it's funny, the crowd laughs, it doesn't matter if the setup was similar. Let's see. Tumana Stan Gorda dice, but make it funny. People are so willing to defend offensive jokes just for the right to say it. Offensive is not funny. I think comedians are upset because now they actually have to be funny. No, that's true. And but like, so like the Matt Rife joke, um, I thought it was funny. I don't know if y'all know which one I'm talking about. The one where he talks about the waitress. I mean, I thought it was funny. It's a play on an old. Well, it's not old because it still happens, but like people are like, oh, he's joking about abusing women. I was like, he's not joking about abusing women. It's a joke about abused women. That makes any sense. But like, I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was that offensive. I told my mom asked me, she was like, what did he say? And I told her the joke and she laughed. She was like, that's funny. I go, yeah, it's not really that offensive to me. But maybe it's because of who he is that it's not funny. Because that's the other part. Like, oh, my rival, Tony Rock, when he performed and I saw him perform, He said jokes mocking stereotypical, uh, like things that are stereotypical of black women. That's all his jokes were, mocking the stereotypical black woman. And the crowd loved it. They ate it up, they laughed. I didn't really think it was funny at all. But if a white comedian had said any of it or any close to that, they would have been just like hung out to dry. Like they would have, there was no way that someone could go and repeat these jokes if they weren't black or if they weren't on stage, because they weren't that funny if they were coming off stage. And so, was it offensive? It should have been deemed, but it wasn't because it said it. So I think because Jeff is a young white, I think that's why he can't get away with jokes, especially because they said, "Oh, his is mostly female." Okay, well, that's not really his fault. Like who your audience is not really your fault. If you fall into a certain category and it gets people to flock to you, that's not your fault. Now you can't cater to them. That's different. You can play to your audience. But I think that's pretty much why he got in trouble. Joey B says, whenever I make jokes about my life that I think are hilarious, people just stare at me like I'm a victim or something. Oh man, that's hilarious, dude. And I'm laughing at the fact that you said that right there. Tu mama es tan gorda, dice, and not rely on race, sexuality, and gender. That was one thing that, what comedian were they talking about that? Well, see, but then that right there, that's what a lot of female comedians go on. And that's also why I'm not a huge fan of a lot of female comedians. Ellen DeGeneres, regardless of how horrible a person she is to her employees, has some funny stand up. Wanda Sykes has funny stand up. Um, there was just a lady who had funny stand up. I can't think of her name. I just saw her the other day on Netflix. But there's only a handful because they don't just rely on strictly that. I mean, yes, they'll mention that, but they don't just lean heavily into that. Miss Jones says, I was about to say that's the dude who voiced Rocco. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He wants to know all about my family. He's like, you got kids, Sonny? I was like, I do. Hey man, I like you on Reno 911. And he was like, yeah, no, forget that. He's like, so how old are your kids, man? What are they that? What kind of things are they into? I'm like, this one trying to talk to me like I'm like a normal person. That's not what I'm here for. No, but he was a really cool dude. Miss Jones says, the joy be same. I joke about my life and people ask, are you okay? Are you in an abusive relationship, hostage situation? Do you need an emergency number? Are y'all deadpan when y'all say that? Because when I did deadpan comedy, a lot of people thought I was really messed up. I mean, granted, I probably am, but it was nothing related to the comedy. Mr. Jones says, I thought George Lopez was right. Well, George Lopez will not recognize me because I'm Hispanic. So he doesn't even know who I am. Tu mama tan gorda, he said, yeah, a privileged white dude trying to get away from a female teen audience maybe shouldn't be talking about abused women. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's because of who he was is why he got in so much trouble for that joke. Because other people have made jokes similar to that and they have not gotten in trouble. I made a joke about I say when I talk about my used dog, I'm like, oh, I just bought it. She got a used dog from the animal shelter the other day. And then I'm like, blah, blah. And I was like, it was so much trouble that I needed help. So I got a used girlfriend from the women's shelter. And some people are like, oh, and other people laugh about it. It's the same thing. Because it's still talking about that, but it's not necessarily targeting, I guess, is maybe the issue. But I'm also not a privileged white dude, and I don't have a lot of money. So that might have been why I got away with it. Joey B says, Mr. Jones, exactly. LOL. So I started telling my therapist those things. It turns out that, yes, my life. Joey B's like, everybody thinks it's messed up. No, it is. It totally is. Mr. Joseph, Joey B, yeah, I'm afraid to talk to a therapist. They may tell me, well, sounds like you need a rescue. I'll get a rescue dog. Tu mama están gorda, he said. We're grown men that collect toys. I'm pretty sure none of us are okay. That's true. That could be true. You make one of the funniest abortion jokes I've ever heard. I think you're okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's where my heart lies. No, but that's my thing. It's like I'll joke about everything because I believe in true equality. Equality. All meshes in together. Because some people are like, oh, I don't touch that joke. Actually, I did stop saying jokes about rape. Like I had one. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I was trying to be edgy when I was brand new, so I said one. I was scrubbing YouTube from all my old content, or a lot of my old content on my old channel. And I Googled and I searched it or whatever. Someone uploaded a video of my old stand up that I don't even ever remember uploading. So I'm thinking they went to a show, uploaded the audio to their page. And I was like, ooh, these jokes did not age well at all. So if I ever do get to become popular, that's going to be my downfall. That person right there. But I'm be like, where were y'all when I was poor? And be like, we weren't here. We didn't care about you at that time. That's right. Keep that same energy. Joey B says, nah, I'm usually casually telling it and laughing like, haha, don't everybody's dads slash their tires because they didn't do the dishes. They just stare at me like, no. That's how I feel whenever I mention things of my ghetto upbringing. And people are like, no, that's not normal. And, you're so you're saying that your dad, they're like, my dad gave me a gun. You're saying your dad gave you a gun and said, hide it? Oh, I don't think that equates. I mean, he didn't say hide it. He just said, don't let it be found. Difference. Miss Jones says, son, if you stayed switched at birth, you could have been privileged. I know. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I had that was part of my joke. I was like, my mom got me back. I was like, I could have been white. And I said that in front of an all white crowd and they laughed. They loved it. They're like, you could have been one of us, buddy. Rick Jones says, Sonny, do you still go out for roles or to cattle calls? So I don't have an agent. Found that out a couple months ago. So I had an agent. It was with the DVA talent agency. She sold to Tag Talent. Tag Talent sold to some dude named George. George dropped a lot of people. I was one of the people that got dropped. So I don't have any agent for acting. I did, however, a lot of people messaged me about this one casting call. I submitted. They wanted like, oh yeah, sweet. They're like, send us a video. So I sent them a video. I didn't get anything back from there. So I did go out for that just to see because I hadn't actually worked with that casting agency. Like right before my agent sold, I'd done some auditions for them, but I had never been booked by them. So I was like, well, we'll see what happens. But I didn't get it. I really don't go out for many roles though like that. I'm just hoping that comedy takes off to where they just ask me to do a role. Just be you, Sonny. I'm like, oh, sweet. I don't even got to act. Joey B says, I also make lots of jokes about having a dead parent. And yeah, nobody laughs at those either. I did. So hey, there we go. Miss Joe says, yeah, you better scrub the internet before you get super big and end up in a James Gunn situation. But see, where my thing is like James Gunn was making movies at the time. When I made that stand-up comedy, I was making $11 an hour. Nobody was coming to my rescue. So I was like, I don't care. I'm punching everywhere. So they were like, oh, just punch up. Don't punch down. I'll punch anybody. I don't care. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice, was it Fast and Furious 11? I wish, man. I wish they'll put me in a Fast and Furious movie. I'll be cool. I'll be like, yeah, cool. I'll be the guy with the broke down car, though. I'll be like, hey, Dom, I need a boost. He'll be like, oh, of course I got you. This is about family. I'm like, yes, it's about family. Thank you for understanding. He'd be like, last time. Well, man, I'm gonna need a boost after I go to Walmart too. And get some juice. Joey B says, if you make offensive jokes, you can get put in charge of DC. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. What was his offensive thing? I know the Kevin Hart joke. I don't know what James Gunn said though. But like sometimes you don't even gotta say offensive things and you can get canceled. Like, or they can try to cancel you, I should say. Like Tim Tebow, he didn't say nothing offensive. He was just like, "Hey guys, I went to church yesterday," and they'd be like, "Boo, boo, Tim Tebow." I was like, he didn't even say anything bad, which was really, really bizarre. But hey, that's the world we live in now. Pretty sure it was a rape job. Dang it. See, there you go. Mr. Jones says, you keep reading comments from a person I don't see in the chat. Are you streaming in multiple locations? I don't know. Maybe. I'm streaming on Twitch too, but I don't know what those comments look like. Did you block Joey B? That could probably be the problem. A lot of people like to block Joey B. Tu madre está gorda, dice. In Fast and Furious 10, he finally decided on a race. Latino won. Yeah, that's right. He finally locked it down. Because he was Brazilian in one of them. I'm like, what? Oh, James Gunn made pedophile jokes. Oh, yeah, I don't make those jokes. Mr. Jones says, I think James made some old jokes joking about rape and someone dug them up. Yeah, they dig up a lot of stuff. I'm like, man, who goes back that far? Rick Jones says James Gunn was kind of an edgelord back then. Now he's corporate. Yeah, that was the other thing too, because he was with the Trauma Studios or whatever. Joey B says at Mr. Jones, go to the tab on top, the one between the scissors and the X, and go to all comments. Oh, Mr. Jones says, haha, know the Spanish name. Oh, tu tan gorda. And Joey B says, at Joey B, oh, thanks. And then tu madre está gorda, dice. 100 years ago, and some conservative guy or something, just to find a guy making inappropriate jokes. Yeah, it's kind of like, that's what you do with your free time? You go look stuff. Kind of bizarre. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna cancel at one point. I'm hoping that I'm big enough to get canceled. Because the only way you can get canceled as a nobody is if you're racist and you go viral. Like the lady who called the cops on the black people just because they were black, or the bird watching lady didn't agree that the black guy should be bird watching. Who else got canceled? Did the ma'am person get canceled? Oh, I said tu mama. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice. Oh, haha, because you say tu mamá es tan gorda sometimes. I probably do. I wouldn't doubt that. Uh, it's ma'am. There you go. Did that person get canceled? I think they got canceled, which was crazy because like they were trying to cancel GameStop. Lucky Butter says someone got canceled for bird watching. Yeah, it was this black dude. Now he's like he has it's a Discovery Channel, National Geographic. Someone gave him his own bird watching show because like he's a legit bird watcher. And someone was like, "Oh, he shouldn't be." Yeah, this black guy is over here, and like it was a white lady. She got all crazy, and her job fired her for being racist. She got all these death threats. People were sending death notices to her house. It was crazy. And the dude got a TV show. Mr. Jones says, let me post that video of Sonny playing Mortal Kombat with Jeffrey Dahmer. Hey. Oh, no, it wasn't him. I was like, Jeffrey Dahmer was born on my birthday. It wasn't. It was Charles Manson. We share a birthday. Joey B says, now with AI, you can just make a fake Sonny doing the most horrible things possible. I'm going to do that. What is that called? It's called deep fake. Deep fake, right? That's what they call that. Deep fake. That's what everybody just blames it on. They're be like, Sonny, was that you ramming into some Ford F-150 pickup? I'm like, no, that wasn't me. That's deep fake. And then they see my truck and they're like, all right, man, I think that was you. Oh, okay. You got me on that. But yeah, deep fake. That's what all celebrities are afraid of now. I'm like, oh, deep faking, which is kind of cool. The AI is also like you can make people rap and stuff again. They had that Tupac song that people were like, oh, it's a new Tupac song, but it was AI. Thought that was kind of cool. It's very creative how they do that. Trying to see. Man, why do I feel like that's gonna break? Mr. Jones says there's a bunch of those AI deepfake ads on YouTube now with The Rock, Oprah, and more. The government stimulus check. I don't think AI can make Drake sound like a real rapper though. Probably can't. I can't stand. I don't like Drake. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice. What is the photo directly behind you? Did you take those photos? Yeah, I took these photos early on when I was like, I'm gonna be a photographer again. I don't know why they have paint on them. What are my kids doing over here? This has paint splattered on it. But yeah, Superior Octopus, Venom, Black Widow, Serpentor, Sunfire, not Sunfire, yeah, Sunfire. What's this? Devastator. Got Gears of War up there. Got Iron Man fighting an actual iron. Uh, Gamerverse Hulk over here. Got some random foil customs over there. Prison Post Spidey, Mexican Wolverine, Pimp Daddy Destro. I'm gonna change these out one day, one of these days. Joey B says I keep hearing about those ads, and Mr. Jones, I haven't seen any myself. Mr. Jones says, yeah, I see them frequently when I watch YouTube on my phone or game console. I haven't seen them either. Joey B says those photos are all AI. That's correct. Ad block on your computer. I don't think I have anything on my computer. Or my computer is old. My computer is done. I have to stream from my cell phone. My computer was like, dude. Actually, Google Chrome was like, you can't be running Chrome on Windows 7 anymore. We're not gonna allow that. And so I can't I can't use my computer anymore for internet purposes. I can still use it for like editing photos and videos and stuff, but not for internet. I finally got this little arm on him. It's taking me forever. Hold on, I get to Lucky Butters comment here a bit. Joey B said, I've watched like 70 hours of YouTube this week, so it's crazy that I haven't seen that. Lucky Butter says, looks like those shells never got reinforced. They didn't. They're still they're still wobbly. They're not really wobbly, they bend easy with the weight. Ms. Jones says they pop up randomly. You'll know because the amount is $6,400. Interesting. Lucky Butter says that Hulk is going to smash all those shells below him. Pretty much, man. I thought these shells were a great idea. I remember when I posted them, people were like, "Where'd you get them from?" I was like, "IKEA. They're $8." And then next thing I know, they were like, IKEA was sold out of them. And then I was like, "Man, I can't even find these no more." And I found some more, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, they totally sag." Joy B says that Jada Toys Mega Man or the old Funko? Jada. Dude, I want Jada Toys to make Bomberman figures. I love Bomberman. Well, I had a newfound love for Bomberman. I got the game on Xbox 360, I want to say. I think I got on or PS2. Which one did I get on? I think it was Xbox 360. I thought that was cool. Joey B says, I want Jada to do Mortal Kombat. That would be cool. I know Jazzwares did them a long time ago because I have some of the Mortal Kombat Deception figures, and I was shocked to see that they were Jazzwares. But yeah, I think Jada Toys would be cool. I think Jada Toys should just take licenses from Storm Collectibles. That's right, I said it. them Tekken figures that are I forgot what brand makes those new Tekken figures. Those are horrible. Yeah, I would like to do Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Soul Calibur, maybe. I don't know. Soul Calibur, those their sizes are all over the place. So I don't think that would be too good for Jada. Oh, there you go. Joey B. Oh man, I actually really want Jada to Twisted Metal figures. The vehicles and all, that'd be dope. But what would you pay for that though, man? I think that'd be like uh maybe like $80 maybe. That would be, I mean, that would be cool. I would love to have Sweet Tooth, man. That'd be cool. Mexico did Mortal Kombat like 10 years ago too. Yeah, I saw some of theirs. I didn't realize that they had did them. Uh, they look okay. They look kind of funny, but they look okay. Is it Bandai? Bandai is the one that did those Tekken? No, not Bandai. What brand is it? Is it Bandai? The same people that do those horrible Dragon Ball Z Super or whatever? Like, but it says Bomberman seems like a Jada property would do. I'd be down for those figures. I think so. I would like them, and then they just make the parts to mix and match. I think that'd be cool too. This Mega Man foot just fell off. I didn't even try to bring it off. It just fell off. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice. Didn't Mezco do Mortal Kombat Tiny though? I think they were still 6-inch figures. Oh man. This Mega Man foot won't stay on. There we go. Okay. That foot's a little bit loose. Didn't NECA make some Twisted Metal before or someone else? The only Twisted Metal figures that I've seen aren't really figures. They're like statues that maybe an arm moves or something. Is that what I saw? Or maybe it was Killer Instinct that I'm thinking. We need some Killer Instinct figures too. That would be good for Jada Toys because those are all about the same size. That might have to go to a Japanese company so we could finally see what the other side of Orchid's fatality is. If the vehicles were like McFarlane vehicle quality, I'd be fine. 80 to 100 would be perfect. Varying prices depending on the character and vehicle. Twisted Metal is just so dope. Yeah. I think, man, a Sweet Tooth ice cream truck would be so cool though. I guess like Axel would only be like $30. Just a dude. You can't even move him. Just a dude with wheels. Mr. Joe says, yeah, Bandai for the Tekken fix currently. I don't have any, but the one Jay Hearn got look decent. I have a bunch of the Dragon Ball ones. That King horrible. Like they teased King. I have the Storm King. It's way better than that Bandai one. It's John hit or miss. Joey B says they were 6-inch, but they were like true 6-inch, so they were very tiny. Like SH figure art style. Miss Jones says depending on the character. Joey B says NECA did Sweet Tooth. That's the only figure they made. I think I saw that one, but this goes for a lot of money. Twisted Metal needs a small diecast card that fits in your hand. Mr. Jones says, doesn't Premium DNA have the classic Killer Instinct stuff? They got the other rare properties like Banjo, Kazooie, and Battletoads. I know they got Banjo and Kazooie. Ooh, man. All right, I'm going to try something because my earbud went out. Or my earbud's going out. So I'm going to try to swap them. Let's see if y'all can still hear me. Can y'all still hear me? Am I still good? I switched earbuds because one went bad. Let's see. Could have sworn they said they had the rest too, like Perfect Dark and more. What else is from Rare? Yeah, who was it? I think Toy Bro did a review of Banjo Kazooie. Or was it Toy Shiz?
One of them. They had like a flock version. Honestly, even if they were just those small diecast figures and vehicles that Jade has been doing for years, I'd be okay. The 6-inch will be better for sure. I'll take what I can get though. Yeah, I'd prefer 6-inch. Joy B says, I know premium DNA has, but I don't know. Yeah, they do, but
Mic is muted. That's not what I want to do. Settings, audio, Bluetooth headset. Okay. Y'all hear me still? Blink twice if y'all can hear me. Good now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I switched from right earbud to my left earbud. Wasn't sure. Maybe it's not in there. There we go. But yeah, no. Premium DNA Megalopolis has Earthworm Jim. I know a lot of people were worried about that. But the Battletoad figure, apparently one of them came out, and then the Banjo Kazooie figures are out, so maybe they for real did it. Tu madre es tan gorda, dice, ha ha ha. I nodded, but I'm pretty sure you didn't see. Mr. Jones says, Perfect Dark, Banjo, Battletoads. I kind of remember them saying they had some of the other rare stuff too, back when they announced all the new stuff they got along with Earthworm Jim, Barnyard Commandos. Like, I got that rare replay game for Xbox One. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that's on there. Was that Cameo? Is that the one? I think that was rare. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe. I don't. Maybe that'd be not cool. You know, I'm talking about the lady like changes into animals and stuff. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, I would never buy those figures. Yeah, I'd never buy them. But yeah, no, I mean, I know they got a history, but I really like Earthworm Jim, so it's like, oh, they didn't do me wrong. That's where it's kind of like, sketchy. I don't know if I should, but I don't know. Jada Toys, man. I think if Jada Toys stuck with video game figures in a 6-inch scale, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I do want them to do Bomberman because I think they got a good look with these smaller figures. What else? Mortal Kombat. It would be cool if they could get Killer Instinct. If they could get Primal Rage, that'd be cool. Joey B says, just order BBTS so you're safe. Yeah, that's what I did. It's like, if it was like, put up a deposit, I'll be like, nope, not going to do it. Miss Jones says, yeah, Rare Replay, Killer Instinct, and Forza Horizon series are on only reason I have an Xbox. Yeah, I just installed my kid's Xbox Series S, and apparently I can download Killer Instinct because I have Rare Replay on my Xbox One, so might have to do that. Lucky Butter says Iceman or Mega Man better. Mega Man is more. I think he has more range, so I'd probably say Mega Man. He feels a little bit more range because Iceman is rotund in the belly, so he doesn't have a whole lot of. He has it still pack on the back, so he can't do a whole lot of tilt. But Mega Man has more, so I would say Mega Man. Took me forever to get his arm on though. That was a struggle. Let's see. But let's see where we. Oh, I gotta get back to Obi-Wan Chigonas. That's a good one. Miss Jones says, "Man, I need to display my GI Joe with my Street Fighter because of the shared history and crossover comic a few years ago. Remember the GI Joe Street Fighter figures? I have Bison. That's it. I have Bison and I have Guile. I did a stream with somebody, and they were like, "Oh, I'll send you the rest of mine." I had Blanca. They had like Chun Li and Ryu. I was like, "Cool," and I sent them my address and nothing. So, so I don't know if they're going to send it to me. Obi-Wan Chigona says, "Wish Jada would do a highly articulated Woody Woodpecker." That's what I want. I want Woody Woodpecker would be dope. I also want highly articulated Looney Tunes characters, but not that 8-inch style stuff. Not like what is it called? 8 action, eight something. 8. They make that 8-inch Bugs Bunny, 8-inch LeBron James. Make them. If Jada could get Looney Tunes, there we go. I'm gonna talk to Jada people. Be like, hey, what's up? Can y'all do that for me? We'll be like, man, Sonny, that's a good idea. You want to be our CEO? Okay, I'll be your CEO. Oh, look, Joey B said, oh man, some Looney Tunes by Jada because they're good with those weird shaped cartoon characters, man. That's what I'm talking about. Those be dope. Reed Jones said, I had that Chun-Li G.I. Joe 4-inch figure back in the day. My cousin had that one. I had Bison and Guile. Mr. Jones says, I wish Jada would do a whole classic cartoons line. Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry will be so dope. Harvey Tunes, Tex Avery. Looney Tunes only makes new figures when there's a. Oh man, that's what I'm saying. That's the what is that called? 8 action or something like that. I was more talking about how Hasbro is trying to make Street Fighter like another GI Joe. That's why the movie and anime series felt like a cheesy GI Joe cartoon. Oh, okay. Obi-Wan Chigona says Roger Rabbit. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know that I was a huge fan of Roger Rabbit. Like, I know some people were. I think if Roger Rabbit and Cool World came out at the same time, I liked Cool World a little bit better than Roger Rabbit. I don't know. It was weird. I had a weird childhood. Joey B says, I used to have G.I. Joe style Blanca. That was a cool one. One of my cousins had the Blanca figure. That was a cool figure. It was cool because like the chest was all puffed up. Like I was like, oh man, this is like Blanca for real, but it wasn't. But it was different. Mr. Jones says, I watched some history thing about the movie and Hasbro, hence why they made those old G.I. Joe style Street Fighter toys. I had no idea. That's why they did. You know, Mortal Kombat had those little small ones too. I never got to get any of those, unfortunately. Oh, my parents weren't making the best financial decisions because they didn't have finances at the time, so I didn't get to get any of those. Or they were like, oh, you lost Serpentor. We're not buying you anymore. That could have been. Mr. Jones says, I'll take a translucent Jada Toys Casper. Didn't they make a Boo Berry like that? That was oh, that Chester Cheetah was cool too. Yeah. I want a Noid. I want Jada Toys to make a Noid. I need that to happen. Someone get Jada Toys on the line for me. I'm gonna send them a guest invite. Like, go ahead and make a Noid for me, please. Thanks. I appreciate that. They gotta make the Tricks Rabbit because his name is Sonny. No, Cocoa Puffs guy. His name is Sonny. I need that. Joy B says, oh, I had a Guile too. That's what's up. I got Guile because someone gave it to me. Mr. Jones says, that's one of several reasons I collect so heavily now. Never got a lot as a kid. Yep. I think that's why a lot of us do it. Some people are like, oh, nostalgia. I'm like, you had all them toys as a kid? Man, lucky. Joe B says, Chester Cheetah would make me think about Bugs Bunny. Yeah, they're killing them, man. And with the price point that they're keeping them at, I think they got a lot going for them. Rick Jones says, just get the old Bendy, Noid Bendy. I used to have that. That's why I want a new one. I used to have that little Bendy Noid. I used to have a Bendy Gumby and Poke. The Bendy, it was cool. Broke wire and then their arm like it was just a gummy, like you couldn't bend it. I talked about those. Motaro from Storm Collectibles says, "Oh, here's a bendy tail." I'm like, I'm never gonna bend that tail. I don't want it to break. Too much trauma. Miss Jones says they probably won't ever do anything with the Noid because of the history, which is why you don't see him anymore. I don't know about the history apparently. Well, then let's get Sonny from Cocoa Puffs. Joy B says, "Who is the Noid?" Joy B, no, the Noid was from Domino's. It was their mascots. And 7 Up had Spot at the time. I would not want Spot. That'd be stupid. The Mama Stan Gorda, they said, "What's the history with the Noid?" I know, that's what I'm wondering. I don't know about that one. Oh, sending me. Oh, I'm on my phone though, so I can't see it. Avoid the Noid. That's right. I guess now they're avoiding the Noid because of some history. But yeah, I won't be able to see the Noid history stuff. So the Noid, depending on the history, Sonny from Cocoa Puffs, the Trix Rabbit, and they made a cereal line. Tony the Tiger. Google Domino's Noid Killer. Killer? What? Now I really have to find that out. But yeah, Tony the Tiger would be cool. That dog from Cookie Crisp. Because like they got Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. I never really was a fan of those cereals. Captain Crunch would be dope. There's a Captain Crunch figure. What's that guy name? Mr. Stevie, the Hasbro dude. He posted about it one time. But it's not like an action figure. Like I don't think it moves very much. But Captain Crunch would be cool. King Vitamin. Can we just get a King Vitamin action figure? Might have to make that. Figure it out. Tu mama está gorda, dice. Ja. You gotta laugh in Spanish. Has to do with the hostage situation with a guy whose last name was Noid. What? That's insane. You know what? Not Jaspers. Jada Toy should take over and do Pokemon. I want an Ash figure. And I don't want to pay the SH Figure Arts price. That's insane. I Googled it one time because I was like, I wonder how much this is. Oh, yeah, that's not happening. Not until I get my Netflix special, at least. Like, if I ever get a Netflix special and I can't tell y'all until it happens, y'all just gonna see my collection grow and be like, oh, it's totally Netflix special money right there. Man, this Mega Man is cool. Oh, wait. Oh, Burger King. That'll be cool. Joey B says, how about some fast food mascots too? Ronald McDonald and his crew, Burger King, Colonel Sanders, LOL, Wendy's, the redheaded chick. Mr. Jones says, let me get my reading voice on. On January 30th, 1989, Kenneth Lamar Noid, a mentally ill man who believed that the Avoid the Noid campaign was personally directed towards him and was antagonizing him. After ranting to the employees that the then owner of Domino's, Tom Monaghan, was fraudulent and had stolen his name, he first forced them to call the Domino's headquarters to demand $100,000. The most Gorda, he said, he thought they were telling people to avoid. Oh man, I would have been like, cool, I got my name, and a white limousine as getaway transportation for him. After offering to exchange a hostage for a copy of American Me on VHS. Very odd. Oh, here we go. American postmodern author Robert Anson Wilson's 1985 novel, The Widow's Son, Noid that's so weird. Noid reneged on his offer when an officer brought him the book. Joy B says, "Have you seen the crap on the Wendy's Facebook page?" LOL. I don't know how they do it, but they need to include some crazy to represent that. Yeah, I do like the Wendy's. Like I like Wendy's Twitter page. They're hilarious most of the time. Sometimes I'm like, all right, try too hard, Wendy's. Mr. Jones. Oh, wait. Noid then became hungry and forced the captive employees to make him 2 pizzas. While Noid ate the pizzas with what? While Noid ate the pizzas with his gun in his lap, the hostages escaped. Noid surrendered to the police shortly after. 2 shots were fired by Noid during the incident, both of them hitting the ceiling. Noid was charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault. I guess discharging a firearm. That's a real charge right there. Oh, there we go. Nope, still the same. Man, did they really not make this compatible? Can you not swap? Oh. Okay, Jaded Toys. I don't like that you didn't make the head swappable. You can't put Iceman on Mega Man's head, on body. But unalive myself. Oh man, unalive is a hilarious word. To me it is. Assault, extortion, and possession of a firearm during a crime. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Noid subsequently spent time in a mental institution, but unalived himself. Why do people say unalive? I'm tripping out with that. Oh, 2 little neck muscle things. No, but I don't know. I started seeing unalived a lot on Facebook. Rick Jones says paranoid, noid, big time. That was tripping. Mr. Jones says the incident was widely believed to have caused Domino's Pizza to discontinue advertising the Noid as their mascot, but this claim has been rejected by the company and their advertisers. That's an insane way to be like, you know what? We should probably not have that guy anymore. Oh, can we get a Papa John figure? Paranoid. Joy B says suicide is offensive. Yeah, I don't know why they started saying unalive. That's very bizarre. Dude, the first time I saw unalive, I thought they were talking about zombies. I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to say it. And then they're like, oh, my grandfather unalived himself when he was younger. I'm like, oh. I was like, what? Is that like Googling yourself? Miss Jones said, I put unalive like people do on Instagram and Facebook since you can't say certain words. Yeah, I know. That's very weird, though, that they get to say that. Unalive bang bang segs. And you know what? Facebook demonetized me because I made a meme talking about fireworks and they thought I was trying to sell firearms. But I just found out the other day that they went ahead and gave me monetization back. So, hey, shout out to Facebook. Oh, man. Hold on. I'll get to that. Tu mamá está gorda dice, because you get blocked by the algorithms with certain words. Oh, okay. I thought it was just because they were like, oh, I don't want to say that. Joe says man milk. Jovi says first time I heard unalive was Deadpool in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. Oh, okay. Oh man, it's 103. Y'all people are still here. That's what's up. But I am gonna hop off here, make sure my kids went to bed. I do gotta get up in the morning and try to go get my tire fixed because I got a nail in it or a screw in it today. And Discount Tire is closed today. And I got a warranty. I don't feel like buying another one. So thank you everyone for showing up on the live stream. Shout out to Wade from Unparalleled Universe, who popped on for a bit. Shout out to everyone that showed up. Lucky Butter, Rick Jones, Mr. Jones, Joey B. Obi-Wan Chingones, tu mamá es tan gorda. Hace tu mamá, tu madre es tan gorda. Savage Saint, Matt Logic 44, Mark Rose. Who else was here? Olu was here. Obi-Wan Chingones. Shout out to everyone that came through. Much appreciated. Ms. Jones says, I've never been in Facebook jail or been in trouble, so I don't know what happens to y'all. I think Drake is trash, and they put me in jail for 30 days. It sucked. I was like, oh, man. Just never talked about him. Tu mama también. You can call me mama. No, but appreciate everyone. Hopefully I have some more content out for y'all this week. Hopefully I can start having some comedy stuff on my other page. If you haven't checked it out, make sure y'all check it out. Sonny Gus Comedy. But yes, thank y'all for stopping by. See y'all later. You have a great rest of the week.